welcome to another episode of If Lands Could Kill. This is Knifecity.
And Ryke is back.
Whoa! Motherfucker. Samhain Crow here. And hot sauce, I guess.
And we have a very special 51st anniversary episode. Oh, wait, that was last week. And, yeah.
So this is a normal episode.
This is normal.
Not even going to be that funny. No special listener questions.
We don't even have any show notes.
Just if you're listening to this now, just turn it off right now.
Yeah,
hit the stop button.
It's going to be real bad.
So
Ryke's leaving already.
Yeah.
No, so what we're going to do is we're just going to... You know what? Let's just let Ryke steer the boat tonight.
Oh,
Let's do it.
we have to talk about intros first, but then we're going to delve into a little bit of some Zendikar lands, and then we're going to sprinkle a little what is this? These last spoilers that came out? We're just going to...
Yeah, little Zendikar spoilers.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me.
All right, well, since I never go first about my week, this feels all weird. It feels all like, when you're like in the audience, when you're usually like backstage or something.
He's bouncing up and down on the couch right now. Like
I know.
It's very exciting.
So my week. Let me tell you about my week.
Do you want to start with today?
Sure, let's start with today. So, I sleep in, because I'm a bum, I don't have a job right now. And I get a text from my brother saying, hey, are you okay? I'm like, I didn't answer because I was asleep. And then his following text is, a plane crashed down the street from your house. What's up? And I was
you didn't even wake up to the plane crash?
Yeah, I didn't even wake up. I mean, it's like,
it wasn't like a 747.
Yeah, it was like the little single engine pieces of shit.
A little Cessna.
Yeah, Cessna. But anyways, so apparently,
Piper Cup.
like 2 blocks from my house, the fucking plane went down.
20 houses away from him, probably.
Yeah, it's pretty close to me. A plane crashed in somebody's front yard. And it was horrible. But,
somebody died.
Yeah, one person died. See, there was like a pilot and then like a 13-year-old. I hope it's not the other way around. So,
but then the 13-year-old was the pilot?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if he crashed, that was probably...
Probably makes sense, yeah. So
but anyways, so that's like weird or whatever. But the fucking fucked up part is that like, so I live close to like this really small airport. So like,
I wouldn't even call it an airport. It's more of an airfield.
Yeah, it's an airfield.
Yeah.
No terminal. Terrorist 9/11 train though, that airfield. There's a couple of them like who actually got caught. The ones who actually got caught beforehand, actually 2 of them like trained at that airfield.
Yeah, they might have taken a class.
Oh, really?
Maybe. I wouldn't doubt it.
Probably not very good.
Pretty sure that's what I've heard.
They worked over in Spring Valley. By Ryke's house. Anyways, so, like...
It actually worked at my house.
Landscaping or something?
So, like, if point A is my house and point B is this airfield, along that line is where the fucking plane crashed. So if it had, malfunctioned, like, 30 seconds earlier or 30 seconds later, like, it could have very easily crashed, and killed, me.
Yeah, well, the plane weighs like 60 pounds, and it wouldn't make it past like.
But he's pretty
material.
weak though, so
it wouldn't make it past roofing material. There's no way. That's not. It can't do damage.
It's really small, but it would have woken me up.
Like you could have.
I would have had to get out of bed.
You could have caught it.
I could have
saved
Superman that shit. Yeah.
Just bat it like a beach ball back in the air.
King Kong that shit.
Yeah, couldn't they have waited just 8 days? I mean, seriously, how rude.
What's 8 days?
Wow, let's not go there.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, you're a bad person.
We're totally going there.
Woo! Christ.
Oh, what's the date today?
Never forget. Never forget.
Anyways.
Fuck
so that was September the 3rd, and today... And just lost some listeners.
I don't like you anymore either.
What did you serve or something? Shut the fuck up. So anyways, this week, since I'm not working, like me and my girlfriend are trying to like figure out ways to like cut corners, stuff we don't really like need or use. So we have like the Cox bundle of like house phone, like a landline, internet, and TV.
A landline?
I know, right? Like, I don't even know why we have it. So we're definitely going to get rid of that because we both have cell phones. Like, who has fucking house phones anymore?
Nobody needs emergency 911 anymore.
Exactly. And then also she wanted to switch to like DirecTV because like for like slightly cheaper you get like more channels and blah blah blah. But I've had like Cox like my whole life.
He loves Cox.
Phrasing, I know. We're all like smiling, but we can get past this. This one time, let's move past it.
I would say he's a big fan of Cox, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Actually, someone here used to work for Cox.
I work.
He was inside Cox all the time. And Cox
Was Cox inside of him when he
Cox
screwed around a job or something?
Cox took care of me. Let's just say that.
He got free Cox every time.
And you took care of Cox.
Yeah, damn it. I was the one that said we need to stop, and now I keep adding to it. This is bullshit.
So, I don't even remember what the fuck I was saying.
So Cox, right?
So Cox. I've had it my whole life. Like, I don't know if it was like, you know, like when I was a little kid.
Or...
No,
See, my has great one-liners. I love when Ryke's
my
actually here.
earliest memory is my uncle on a fishing trip, international waters, blacking out. I was like, oh, I have heat stroke. My ass hurts.
Something about don't tell your parents, or...
I just laughed so hard I'm dizzy.
How much did you love that new bike, though, for not talking?
Talking about what? I went on a trip to Disneyland. It's my happy place. Anyways, so, like, I can remember one time in my life where, like, the channels on the TV changed. You know, like...
Yeah, like MTV moved to, like, another channel.
Yeah, Disney Channel was, like, used to be on, like, 18 or something, like, back when I was a little kid. But, you know, for the past 20 years, it's the same fucking channels on the same numbers. And so...
By the way, Disney was 52, by the way.
It's still
I think it is
It's
still.
52 now.
No way, that changed let's change like when we were like kids then.
Yeah, I know. It used to be like...
You're saying like, okay.
I'm saying like...
They changed it again when HD became a thing. But anyways, go
Okay,
ahead.
well anyways, it's changed once or twice in my lifetime. So basically,
traumatic.
what I'm trying to say is I know like where all of the fucking channels are. So now we got DirecTV. I don't know.
Confusing.
Like, it's almost like random. Like, I don't even know, like, where the fuck anything is, and I'm, like, I don't even watch TV that much, but, like, when I do, I have, like, 3 channels that I check, and, like, now I have to, like, consult this guide, and now I'm, like, flicking through the thing, and
You know they have like favorites.
Yeah.
I know it's complicated.
I know
that's complicated.
That makes sense if they had that because it's so fucking confusing. Because with Cox, like the main, like the top, you know, NBC, ABC, all those things, they're like all bunched between 2 and 10.
Well, that's what not even Cox. That's just like local TV.
I understand that, but that just makes sense.
Right.
DirecTV is like NBC's channel 35, ABC's channel 114. Like there's no order to it. It's fucking
Right. It's like because
it feels a little chaotic.
Isn't it like? So do you get local channels still? You get Okay,
You
so
pay
like
extra for local channels?
All the local channels are, like, 6 through 69, but there's only, like, 10 channels in between there. Like, I don't even know why they said, like... The 6 through 69, like, it's 6, and then 22,
it's
and then 53. I'm like, what the fuck? So anyways,
this is you and you have a channel.
Okay, so that's just totally, like, it's one of those things where I'm like hot sauce, where I'd just rather pay the extra $10 a month for the convenience of knowing where my fucking channels are. Like, there's no but she's like, oh...
If you can call them up and be like, alright, I'll pay for your service, charge me $10 more, but revert my channel, the channels need to be on the same number channel as what I had on my previous service.
Yeah.
But you just pay the difference, you're like, that's fine.
But
also
also
on DirecTV, but just give me the same
But also
numbers.
there's like a antenna now, so if it's... There's
antenna?
Yeah, an antenna.
Antenna.
That antenna on my amp roof.
Goddamn antennas.
So now, like, if there's a cloud or a strong breeze or something, you know...
It's really bad.
A plane crashing into
It could have clipped the antenna.
What if it missed your house? Which means that you didn't have, like, the awesome story, but it did just break your antenna.
Yeah, so, like, I didn't really have a right to, like, bitch about it.
Yeah, you couldn't, like, sue anybody because you didn't really have any, like, major damage.
Like, it, like, killed, like, 20 people. I'm like, yeah, but my fucking antenna.
Yeah, you should have went over to all the dead bodies and be like, look what you did!
Why not me? I hate these channels so much.
I'm gonna miss Murder, She Wrote.
The days of our lives is on right now, god damn it.
So, anyways, that's just been, like, frustrating. Like, definitely, like, first world problems.
Yeah, my mom got fucking Dish
AIDS?
TV, and she got AIDS too. That was after she got Dish TV.
Right, because that's...
I feel your pain because I had to stay there a couple nights to dog sit, and I was like, fuck these channels. And I found one channel that was like any good out of like the 1,000 that are on there. And I was like, yep, just leaving it on that channel forever.
Yep.
Never gonna turn it.
Set it and forget it, dude. Forever.
So also, since we got rid of the house phone, we had like the house phone and the fucking internet was like going through the modem and the phone and blah blah. So basically, we had to return the TV box to Cox and return the modem because it was theirs. So we had to get a new modem. So we went to the store and like this is totally like not my ballpark. Like I know like the flow of where the input and output is supposed to go. Other than that, I know fucking like absolutely nothing about like servers and wireless routers and modems. Like I know where to plug shit in. That's it.
Yeah, I think Ryke knows. He understands it the most.
Yeah, he's the like I was thinking of him. Like fuck. Why can't he just be here and doing this for me?
I love it when you think of me. I hope I'm like wearing something lacy.
Yeah,
it's a whole fucking outfit made of modems.
Yeah.
Very revealing.
Yeah. It's just cabling.
Real nice. Just
Copper wire.
Copper wires holding it all together. Yeah, that's good.
Sexy ensemble is
it has
back
the
there.
soap opera,
Yeah. Just enough to cover my ginormous nipples.
Yeah. And the
Yeah,
Ethernet
that.
cock ring. It's nice.
Yeah.
pretty good.
So anyways, I set it all up and it's going fine or whatever. And then I'm editing the podcast and I'm about to send it out and like my girlfriend's new friends are over at the house and they're like talking and laughing or whatever and I'm trying to like talk to her and she's not paying attention to me. I'm like, whatever, that's fine, but I'm still like a little annoyed by it. And then I'm like trying to edit the podcast and she keeps like asking me to like do shit, so I have to like stop and like go. They wanted to play like Super Nintendo, so I had to like go plug it in and then it wasn't fucking working. Anyways, and then I finish the podcast, get it like in MP3 form, type up the description, and I try and fucking upload it, and it's just like 1%, and then it stays there. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is up with this goddamn internet? And then like I check, and it's like disconnecting and reconnecting, like trying to reconnect. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I'm like sitting there trying to like figure it out, and they're like laughing and fucking bugging and shit.
Yapping and shit.
Yeah. And like I'm already late, like I should have done the podcast like 3 days prior, so I'm like really stressing, like I need to get it out tonight. And these guys are like texting me like, what the fuck, where is it? What the you fucking lame? And,
you fucking lame.
You fucking lame.
You lame.
And so I was just like so pissed because I couldn't figure it out. Like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Like unplug it and plug it back in? Like that's the beginning and the end of my troubleshooting skills when it comes to that shit. Like, I may know how to, like, get a virus off the computer, like, you know, something else, but I have no idea how to...
Erase your porn.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like going into, like, control panel and, like, the device settings and all this shit, like, well, I fucking hope this works. You know, I'm probably just making it worse. So anyways, I finally get it to fucking work. And by the time I'm done, like, I just want to, like, punch my girlfriend in the face. Because I'm like, not only... Are you and your friends bugging me, and you made me have to learn new channels, and then now, like, for the past hour and a half, like, I'm fucking underneath the computer all, like, sweaty, like, trying to fucking unplug and plug all the shit in. Like, if we would have just kept the fucking home phone and everything how it was, I could have just sent it and no problems would have came of it. So I tried to tell her this because I'm like, you know, it'll, like, you know, kind of be funny, like, you know, I want to blame this all on you, but it's just me overreacting and haha, maybe we can get a good laugh out of it. No, she was like pissed that I was even like jokingly like mad at her. I'm like, well, this is kind of all because you wanted to do this. It was one of those things where it's like, okay, pick your battles. You know, I'm gonna let her.
But it's so frustrating at that moment.
Yeah, let's pick my battles because it was like, she wants to switch to DirecTV and get rid of the phone. I'm like, fine, whatever. Like, I don't care. You know, this is not like a major decision which I'm like I have to have my way or my input or anything. So, it was one of those things where it's like, well, you know, I'll just let her win this time. And then I was like super fucking pissed about it later on in the day.
So I do have a question for you.
What's that?
Because I know when you went to DirecTV, Cox came back with a lower offer on the table saying we'll make you pay less money for the service.
Yeah.
Was it not worth just staying with them at that point?
So she was like dealing with it all because it was her like brainchild, you know, like she wanted to handle it all. And then she like had to go somewhere, and so she wanted me to call and like have Cox authorize the modem. So when they were authorizing the modem, I'm like, hey, take out the fucking phone service. And then the lady started, oh, well, starting next month and blah, blah, blah. And she's like throwing me all these numbers, and I was like, I don't make any of the decisions, so just fucking authorize this shit. I was like, this is all my girlfriend's doing. Like, you're not even talking to the right person. Just like, shut up and make this work, So
they're not paid to make it work, okay? They're paid to
make money and screw you over.
Keep customers and upsell, bro.
Oh yeah. So that all fucking happened. And then
dogs are macking down.
They love each other a lot.
Did you hear the intro last week with them 69ing?
They're discovering themselves, dude.
I'm getting a little
chub.
Yeah, something's going on over here.
No dog dick talk.
Oh yeah.
It's episode 51. We're all done with dog dicks.
Yeah.
I said Ryke had a chub. I didn't say it was
He cannot take the reins. I will not allow it.
So a couple days ago, my girlfriend started obsessing on like a new car, and I was like, well,
isn't it lovely when they do that when you don't have money at the moment, but suddenly they in their head like,
when she has a like newish car that's very reliable too.
Yeah, she has a newish car, like she got it like a year ago. That's like of that year.
That is like pretty good.
Yeah. And it's reliable and all this stuff, and she's like still making payments and all this fucking shit.
Well, you're driving like a 93 Civic.
Yeah, I'm driving my fucking...
It's a 96, motherfucker.
Excuse the fuck out of me.
But you're right, it's the same shit from like 92 to 97.
Yeah. How is there no difference? I'm not a car guy, I just know that's the era of that type of Civic.
They all look the same. So anyways, she was like trying to like talk herself into it by talking to me about it. I'm like, you know what? I usually don't put my foot down about shit because I'm so laid back about stuff. I honestly don't care about most stuff. But I was like trying to like tell her, like, hey.
This is stupid as fuck.
Like, her big reason was because she liked the way it looked. And I'm like, okay, well that's like, I don't know shit about cars, but I know that's the stupidest reason ever.
My question is, right?
Right.
What car is it?
It is, fucking HRV or something, like the new Honda
crossover, little small thing. Yeah. At least it's okay. I'll give her one thing, which I've not given her anything actually, but I'll say one thing that is a cheap car.
Yeah,
that's a good thing that it's like a she'll probably pay like $21,000 for it or something like that, which is like not free and not what she has now. But I mean, still, at least it's not like. This Chrysler 300 with the V8. I mean, right? 31,000, right? That sounds great. Let's do that.
And I'm not the type of guy who like buys things and then before I'm done paying it off, I trade it in and get something else. Like my cousin does that like at least once a year. He gets a toy, doesn't pay it off, or he gets it cheap and then uses it for a year and then sells it. And he's always like going back and forth between vehicles and shit like that.
He loves losing money.
Yeah, he just loves it. Or he loves like trying to like gain that advantage, gain that incremental money. So anyways, I'm just like, why do you even need this? So anyways, she's like, I know when she starts obsessing on something that nothing's gonna fucking stop her. Like nothing I'm gonna say is gonna deter her from doing it. So whatever, it's your fucking credit. So she makes me go down there with her today and I'm like, listen, I don't know anything about like cars or buying cars. So like, do you want me there just cause I have a penis? And like, they might like not try and take advantage because I'm there because I don't know. I'm not going to be of any help. Like in the haggling phase, like I know nothing. Like her dad used to sell cars. I'm like, why don't you fucking call your dad?
Should have called the dad.
Yeah. And because I just know all the fucking tricks because Hot Sauce and a Quickness and a bunch of our other friends fucking all worked at the same dealership. So I got to know like, oh yeah, they just fucking upsell this, upsell that. You don't even need fucking this or that. So I'm like just sitting there like, all right, whatever. And then so she's talking to the guy and she's like trying to haggle. I'm like, this is hard to watch, like I know you're just getting taken advantage of right now. And so anyways, she ends up going to a different Honda dealership and I go home because I'm like, fuck this. I could be in my underwear right now.
I want to kind of cut to the chase. Did she buy the car?
She bought the car.
Oh my god!
That's the whole
buy
room.
Buy me a new ring.
The whole room.
A fancy watch.
The whole room
is to marry me and let's buy a car.
The whole room is definitely just like fuck.
God damn it, dude!
It is her thing. You're right. You're totally right. But fuck.
So she like had this X amount, like, oh, I want to get like, cheaper payments per month. It's more.
Of course it is.
It's more per month than it was her previous car.
Yeah. It's because here's another thing. So regardless if you know anything about cars, the car she bought is the same size car, but it's a lifted platform with a higher roof, but it's still the same dimensions, like as far as like where you sit and the room you have shoulder to shoulder and all that stuff, and the engine and all that stuff, even the same chassis. It's like Honda, like whatever SUVs that are whatever, they're the same chassis as the car that looks like that same thing. All they do is like make the sheet metal and frame taller and lift the platform another 2.5 inches off of the ground. But it's the same fucking thing, including like luggage space, except for height. Because the thing is, you don't care about luggage space for height. You care about luggage space for like depth and like, you want to look at the trunk? You don't look at how high the trunk is. You look at how deep the trunk is, That's one of those things that like gets you about crossovers that like you pay $2,500 more and you get a car that's really similar, rides the same gas or worse gas mileage because it's heavier.
I'm just saying more.
I know, I'm getting pissed as you're talking about it.
Yeah. It's just, the whole thing is that it is better for, just like urban excursions and you can hold like taller things in there, but it's only taller. It's not more.
So I thought the exact same thing because, when we took the test drive or whatever, I'm looking around, I'm like, this is the same fucking size as your other car. Like there's nothing.
It's a trick.
Except for that like, room above where the trunk would be.
Yes.
Like you're paying X amount, thousands of dollars for this much space. I'm holding it up with my hands, you can't see. But for like, 4x4 feet of, not even that, feet of space, you're paying X amount of dollars for that. I felt like telling her like, do you want to do that?
That's true.
But she's like, but I like this color. I'm like, that's not.
Now but it's so much prettier.
Now, my thing with this too, like, I love like wagons and like station wagon style cars. Like they have like a lot of sweet like V8 style awesome sports car things with like, a wagon in the back. And that's cool because it's not a different price. They just add a wagon, but it's like, no, you're not paying $5,000 more to get the something wagon. You're paying the same price as a sedan because it's still a car. So you're getting just like extra room for the same, and it's the same car, it's all the same. But then when you get that same thing and then add the SUV name to it, CUV or whatever you want to call it, then you're like, oh, fuck. But yeah, it's still like, that car, I know what that car is, has no fucking horsepower.
No, it's a fucking little four-banger.
It's worse gas mileage than a previous car, and then it was more expensive. Like I said, I'm not trying to help you here. I'm just telling you the facts.
So,
just laying it out there.
Yeah, I ain't pampering your ass.
Like I said, I don't know shit about cars, but I have like common sense. And I could just see like, there's no benefit other than like you want something new and shiny. Oh, and it has the like, when you're changing lanes, it has the little video to get, or you can just turn your fucking head for free. That works too. But I do have to say there's one cool feature, not that it's worth, the money.
Let me guess. Cubby hole stuff.
Yes.
Yep.
Because
Honda owns that segment, so go ahead, say what it is.
So you can lift up like the seat, like the actual seat, like the back in the back seat. The back stays where it is, but the seat folds up, and then like we could just put the dogs down there and they won't like fall off the fucking seat and trample around.
Right.
Is that worth all this fucking hassle? No.
Absolutely.
But
okay, I just want to say, I'm going to pat my own back for a second. Just let everyone out there know that if I'm a car guy or not, I just guessed something so fucking obscure, and I've never owned a Honda. This is one of those things. It's very obscure, but if you're a car guy, you already know that.
Yeah.
But like, that's a really weird thing to know that Honda's cubby space sells.
Yep.
Really weird. I don't know. It's really weird, right? You guys gonna guess that? I'm just saying.
I would have said like cup holder.
Yeah, more cup holders.
More cup holders.
She was exactly.
Dude, in the early 90s. Or
I don't even want to talk about it.
Early pretty bad. You tell her the proposal to be postponed now?
Yeah.
Early 2000s, cup holders like sold cars.
Yeah, they were.
And not anymore, but like for a while there, it's like they would like name how many cup holders or number how many cup holders there were.
I think it's on like the price sticker. It says like 4 cup holders.
What is those? Who cares? How many?
It is important, but
like miles per gallon. Don't worry about that one. It has 4 cup holders.
You can fit a double big gulp in there.
So here's the new selling point: number of USB points.
Yeah.
That's what it is now. Like The Silverado has like 6.
Silverado?
Yeah. Goddamn Chevy Silverado. Bunch of queers buying Fords. Yeah, it has like 6 USBs in the front. And like that, for some reason, helps sell the car. Which is really funny.
How many shits
I don't
you
know,
gotta
that's what I'm
plug
saying.
in? Like, I got
I can charge my iPhone, my iPad, my tablet.
I can bring my little fucking portable like USB fan and just like stick it on
Oh
there.
my god. Yeah, the AC goes out, but I got my USB fan. We're good to go. Yeah, it's really funny.
Ryke is like shaking with anger.
By the way,
I can't sit still.
Ryke.
My bad, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I gotta say, this is the longest single person segment
I know.
we've ever had.
Yeah.
I think so.
No problem. We're adding to it. I'm just saying it's funny.
So I'll bring up one more thing that doesn't piss me off. So for a while I was talking about a lot of like mobile games. Kind of like in the little intro, I'd like do a little review. But
Agario.
Yeah, so I haven't been like playing a lot of games. But this new game just came out, Walking Dead: Road to Survival. And it's one of those, like you have X amount of energy, and to do a task requires X amount, and so you can only do a certain amount before it has to refill.
Or you can buy more energy.
Or you could buy more energy.
I didn't have to know that either.
And
That's
stuff.
just how they get you, bro.
So I was like, this game's gonna be a piece of shit, but I'll play it. So it's kind of a mix between like a little bit of a RPG element mixed with like, like the stupid, like Simpsons Tapped Out, where you build your little like city or whatever. And the shit regens, the energy regens a lot quicker, and usually when like you have like gold or whatever, and like, oh, you can build a house, it's gonna take you 14,000 months, or you can pay like 20 gold, and by the way, you can buy 20 gold for $99, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, they give you like a lot of gold for free, so you can like skip through a lot of the boring building shit. Anyways, the game is actually like pretty good. It's piqued my interest, and I've been playing it for the past couple days. But once again, it's not going to be one of those games that I'm going to play like long term.
Or put any money into.
Oh God, no! Like I would be more pissed. I'd rather buy a new car.
If you sell her car, you can get so much gold.
Yeah, I know, right?
Just kidding. You'll be under.
Did she trade her car in to get this new car, or are
Yes.
you going to at least get her car?
Nope,
No.
she traded in. Like, I have that piece of shit car, and like, I'm just gonna drive it into the ground, and then when it stops working, I'm gonna get a new car. Like, that's what's gonna happen.
Dude, this is how me buying Ryke's car, it's like, yeah, I make money, and like, I can afford whatever, but like, it's totally fine. I'm just gonna drive it until it just like, can't run anymore,
Yeah.
The only thing that's bothering me right now is the AC is like intermittent, but everything else is like pretty good on it.
Electrical,
Everything else is great on it. Yeah, it's electrical problem. It's not like the AC is like has a problem. It's just like fucking connection. Same thing. The headlights don't come up and down all the time.
Well, it's probably the same thing.
They always come up, but they don't always come down. But sometimes I'll be driving and they'll just like come down. I'm like, okay, well that was cool. And so like that's just it. It's electrical. It's not the motors and the headlights, and it's not the AC compressor or the buttons or any of that stuff. It's just some kind of connection between the two, and that's actually like the worst thing of a car.
Yeah.
It's like trying to find a wire in like a harness that has a bad connection or
It's
whatever.
like trying to find that one Christmas light that's like slightly not
it's
screwed in.
like that, but you have to.
Worse.
But you have to lay on your back under the tree.
And you have like a 2 foot by 2 foot space though.
Yeah.
But you're a car guy and an electrician. You should just take care of
But it
this.
doesn't add up for some reason. Electrical in a car, it doesn't work that way. It's so sad. I wish. I remember paying a guy. So I was driving I had an old 240 SX when I was in high school. And I was driving the car and I was like going like, man, I don't remember what I did. I did something where I basically like I bottomed out and I like scraped the bottom of the car real bad and it ripped all the connections off of the transmission. And what that means is that the speedo and tachometer went out because like the wire, there's like sensors in the transmission that like gauge like road speed and like how many miles you're driving and all that stuff and like engine speed. And so like all the gauges just went out. I'm like, fuck. And I look under the car and they're dragging on the ground. I'm like, shit. So I get like a soldering iron and I go into the car and I'm trying to do it. But the thing is they broke like right at the connector. or like right next to that, and I'm trying to do it, and like solder's like splashing in my fucking face. And so I got my stepdad. I'm like, okay, I'm having so much trouble with this. Like, can you help me out with this? He's trying to do it with like his friend. He can't do it either. I'm like, all right, fuck it. So I brought it to a shop, paid a guy like $200 just to solder on like 4 wires. I was just so mad. It's like same thing. I'm an electrician. I should be able to do this shit, but I was just so fucking frustrated to get this shit done. I was like, I don't care. Get this thing on a lift and just fucking deal with my problems. I don't care.
So tell me more.
Tell me more. What happened? What's more?
Like, how's your week?
Oh,
that was such a smooth transition.
I got it.
Thanks.
Simple things. I don't have anything to say, really. I went to Six Flags on Sunday. It was like 95 degrees.
That was a hot
I was like, it's one of those things where you pay a bunch of money and try to enjoy yourself, and then all of a sudden you are sweating your ass off. There's no more misters either, because I'm guessing because of California drought. There's no misters on any lines. You're just sitting there, miserable, no cloud coverage. There was a jet that flew by and left a jet stream, and like for like 45 seconds we had cloud coverage, and I was like, oh, badass. And then it went away. I'm like, but I was like, I felt the sun go away on my skin. I was so happy, and I look up, I'm like, that's not a fucking cloud. Damn it. So, and then I got motion sickness also. I took 4 Dramamine, and it took like till the end of the day to work.
Okay, so my question is, when you were on the ride, who was holding your purse?
Did you puke?
Yeah,
purses aren't allowed. I gotta pay $1 for the locker for my purse. Yeah.
Did you puke?
What's that? No, I don't. I hardly ever throw up, but I was like maybe
that queasy feeling.
I think we did like 8 rides, and like 4 rides in, I got sick, and so I had to like sit out for 2, and then I rode like the last 2.
You already have motion sickness problems, and you're in that 95-degree fucking heat. That's not
and then like there's also like not a whole lot to drink there. Like if you want to drink something, like you have to pay. It was $16 for like unlimited refills, you know what I mean? 16 fucking bucks. And then you gotta wait to like huge ass line just to get like a 14-ounce fucking soda that's all ice.
That's just gonna
drink it before you
Yeah, well, I had Powerade there, so I got Powerade like every time I went there. But yeah, it still didn't like do shit. So anyways, the whole thing, actually another thing, $75 fucking dollars.
That was when you were gonna get to that point.
$75 fucking dollars. Yeah. There's ways around it. If you like buy a ticket ahead of time, you get it cheaper.
Buy a Coke can, get a ticket.
Yeah, shit like that. You know what I mean? But like, it was spur of the moment.
That's the thing, dude.
It is. Spur of the moment. It's like I just went there and I'm like, no fucking way is that much money. There's no way.
You guys didn't look how much it was before you got there. You drove all the way up and said,
yeah, well, I don't, that's just how I work with money. Me and money are just exactly like that. That's how we go. That's how we do.
Spend irresponsibly.
That's how Jace's checking account does, dude. So.
How it do.
Yeah, that's how it do. So anyways, $75 a person. I'm like, that's crazy.
Pretty good deal.
And you know, what is that, like 8 rides? You know, it's like an hour wait for each ride basically. So like, it's like 8 fucking rides.
So many rides.
So, and then I got sick, of course, so I had to pay like, you know, $12 in Dramamine from their gift shop. And, I don't know, it was still fun because the rides are
You're making my car story look really good. He's like in the drive.
That's a one-day mistake.
Yeah.
You have a 5-year mistake.
Yeah.
He's like in the ride around it
Next
for
year,
5 years.
No. She wanted it cheaper. It's a 6-year loan. It's just one of those things that you pay a lot of money to enjoy yourself, and you kind of don't, and that's what's upsetting. That you're like, I wish I could just be at home in my AC watching some football.
This is a bad expensive vacation.
Yeah, I could have been watching football. When I said I didn't want to go at first. And she was like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, nothing. I just don't want to go.
That's always the question. What are you going to do instead, then?
She was like, that's not a good excuse.
Oh like, my God.
Fuck it, I'll go. God, I don't want to hear another word.
Why is that not a good excuse? I just don't fucking want to.
Yeah, I just don't want to.
You know,
I use it all the time, so why can't we?
I could go, or I could not go.
So,
like, those are great.
Yeah. So there's one new ride. Remember Colossus? The wooden, white-framed, whatever. It's just like the lap bar comes down and that's all it is. What's up?
Isn't that gone now?
So exactly. So they demoed part of it and they rebuilt it as Twisted Colossus. So it's a wooden frame with a metal track. And I don't mean metal track as in it's always like a train track metal track. This is like a modern, single post, tube, with the rails come off the side of it, so like it has very smooth, it's not you're just rocking against fucking rails like goddamn Belmont Park, San Diego.
So they build new shit on old wood?
So, with a wooden frame still. But the part that you're riding is all
So
new
it just looks
space frame, fucking, tubular
that
metal.
seems like a bad decision in the long run.
As far as decay and all that stuff?
Yeah, it's already been there for years and years. That wood that's already
You know what? The chances
deteriorating.
someone else will die before me. So.
Hey, you know what? Wizards of the Coast must have had a hand in doing that because they're really good at having old, frames of things
and spending a little bit of money to make it, sell or whatever.
Make it look good on the outside.
So I went on this ride, and I gotta say, I was like way impressed. There's a part in the ride. There's two tracks. There's like a blue track and a green track. The thing is that it's the same. Okay, it's the same car. You'd ride both tracks in one loop. It's like a 4-minute ride, like literally 4 minutes, which is pretty damn long for a roller coaster. So you do 2 minutes around one section, and then 2 minutes the other section. They ride parallel the entire time, and parts of it they do. The dogs.
I can't stop looking at your old gay dogs.
Go away. So they do.
Fucking silver foxes over here.
I was watching the whole time. They start licking each other's mouths, and then start progressively going lower and lower and lower.
You know what though?
The worst part is you watched the whole thing.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
I've never seen a red rocket get licked. So at least we're not full blown
That's happening soon. They're getting worse.
That's even worse than they're just licking each other's flaccid penises.
They're too young. They can't get boners yet.
But they look like old, gay men.
They're definitely old gay men's dogs. That's for sure.
He's trying to hide himself.
It's the eyebrows. It's the eyebrows.
It is the eyebrows. They got those bushy, gray eyebrows.
Dicks. So, okay, this ride. Real quick. Let me get past it so we can move on to gay stuff. God damn it. This ride, like I said, there's 2 parallel tracks. And so when you go half track, then the other car starts up. So there's 2 cars going on the same 4-minute track. So when the 2 cars take off, then there's a part where one car goes upside down, and then the other car starts going upside down at the same time that they reach the 120 degree point. So you spiral around each other in like a, barrel roll type position.
A double helix.
So what it is, it's like they want to simulate you being able to high five other passengers. So they do this segment where it spins around and you look up and you can literally just stare into someone else's eyes the entire time you're spinning around.
So it's a love connection, right?
You can't reach them, but cause it's not safe. But you just spinning around and you're looking up and you're like, holy fuck, that person is they're stationary with me, moving at the same mile per hour. They time it perfectly and you're like, that is amazing. And the person above me, that's amazing. And then it stops and it goes to the thing. But it was.
Did you do the Top Gun flip off?
So when you actually go off the drop, there's 2 dogs licking each other's balls. It's crazy.
Next time you guys go to a roller coaster,
that's ridiculous. What's going on here?
And do the fucking loop. I figured out a few years back, I tried it one time. If you look up while you're going, it's just a fucking cool sensation. So try that next time you want to loop-de-loop.
I don't do drugs anymore, dude. I can't tell you that. I can't tell you.
No, it's just fucking, you're doing the flip and you just look up rather than, looking forward how you typically would.
Indeed.
It's just, I don't know, you feel like you're flipping backwards as you're going. It's just kind of a cool sensation.
Indeed.
Crazy.
So the Charger season has all started, football. So.
Coming
it's
up
also
soon,
good.
right?
No, it's already done. Well, we're preseason right now, but yeah.
Season's already done? That was quick.
Season's done.
Jesus.
Yeah, everyone failed.
Yeah.
No winners.
Moving to LA.
Yeah, moving to LA. So yeah, now I've been watching, I went to the game on Saturday with, my girlfriend. And, when we go there, and we're waiting for her sister and her sister's boyfriend to arrive, and they took an Uber to get there. Well, Dumbass and, Dumbassette, they fucking buy a 12-pack of beer, Sculpin IPA in a bottle. Bottles are not allowed, anywhere.
Bottles,
even places that allow you to drink, maybe a special type of beach or something like that will allow you to drink. No glass. That's that's so easy. It's common sense. No glass. And they try to walk in because they got dropped off. They start walking in with a 12-pack of IPA, and they're like, yeah, you guys are idiots. Like, you have to like drop that right now. You have to put that shit in the trash can, basically. And they're like, are you serious? And they're like, yeah. Like, how would you not know this?
Are they from here?
Yeah, of course they are. It's really funny though. So they like bought beer, took an Uber, and
not cheap beer, by the way.
They didn't just sit there and drink it like that. I mean, I would have drank it and said, "Hey,
you can't drink outside the stadium."
I would have done it anyways.
Yeah, I'm just saying they won't let you in. Then it's just like one of those things.
Well, you just walk a little farther away from them,
right? I know they could have spent some time doing that. So yeah, they had to just leave a fucking cold 12-pack sitting there. I'm like, that you guys are idiots, you know.
Like, see, the cops will drive by, and as long as it's in a red Solo cup, they don't fucking bother you.
You know,
you have a bottle or a can exposed with a can, they'll tell you to put it in a cup.
Then they'll
come back around and spill the can.
They tell you right now that they pour that out. They like punish you for having glass. They're not going to kick you out of the stadium, but every time they come by someone, they're like, all right, get that right now. They don't even like...
Well, I was saying can. The bottle is a totally different thing.
The can's allowed. Can's allowed, yeah.
Okay, well, most of the time, like a lot of times, when the cops come by, even if it's a can...
Oh, no, they allow drinking in the parking lot. Just it has to be a can or, whatever. Not glass.
Either way, but glass is like a fucking obvious no-go.
There were some guys that were next to us, some older folk that were next to us, and they were drinking out of glass, drinking Corona. And, like, they showed up, and they did not even, like... They didn't have to talk with anybody. They were just like, those bottles, pour those out right now. And they tried to like rebuttal, and he's like, pour those glasses out right now. Like everything, dump it on the fucking ground. And it was like really, I liked it. I liked seeing a cop like I don't care what you have to say, like, we can talk after all that shit is on the ground. And I like that. I was like, yeah, that's what you get for being idiots. Like this is, how do you guys not know? It's just America. It's not even fucking like any specific city. Like don't have glass bottles in public.
Can you drink glass bottles in Vegas? In public?
You can.
Yeah, they fucking do whatever they want.
Well, that's a whole fucking...
I have a story about that too. But
it's not your time.
It's not my time.
But you know whose time it is? Samhain Crow, go ahead.
Longest intros ever. Longest intros ever. I'm sorry, I'm a little shorter than you guys. So I had like a proud moment with my son this week, being proud of him. It's I've been teaching him over the last however many months that, you know, if you're downstairs and you gotta take a piss, just take your diaper off, we can just go outside and piss on a tree. That's what you do as a little boy growing up. At least in my backyard, it's all fucking... What are you laughing at? So he's like, yeah, I gotta pee. So I take him outside, and he's going to go pee on this palm tree, and like where he's gonna stand on the ground, like it's kind of like he's inclined up. He's like sloped up. So I'm like hoping he doesn't pee on his own feet and this and that. He starts to take a piss, and he's holding his junk up, and he starts blasting this fucking arc that's like higher than his head, and hitting this fucking tree, and he's already on the incline. It's like, how the fuck are you peeing above your head? So I start laughing to the point where I go, okay, now he's like going side to side, spraying the fucking tree, like, and I'm laughing, and I realize, oh my god, it's been like a 45-second, a minute long pee. I'm like, you have now peed officially longer than I ever had in one session.
You are jealous of your son's stream.
It was hilarious.
You are jealous.
I was proud. So it was a great... Yeah, good job.
Did you talk to your wife and be like,
I took a picture.
Why is his wiener bigger than mine? He didn't get it from me. He got it from your side of the family.
He's got a big wiener.
That's what I'm talking about. And we got a new segment.
Yeah. He's not a dog.
Yeah.
It's not new though. You've been a pedophile for a while now.
Not to your son.
So I think I talked about before how much I fucking hated the idea that Michael Bay had ever made the new Ninja Turtle movie. And I wasn't going to spend any fucking money on it. Came to Netflix, sat down, watched it, and it is, you know, as bad if not worse than what I expected it to be. Fucking horrible. So, just had to say that. I did pre-order...
Don't do it.
Don't watch it. It's fucking horrible. It's an abomination to TMNT. Other than that, I pre-ordered a box of Battle For Zendikar. I'm
nice.
Excited about that.
Like I said, I'm probably, because I have money now, I'm probably going to buy like 2 boxes. But I'm going to wait, and I'm just going to buy them in person. I'm not going to like pre-order it. I also want it on Friday. Or Thursday or whatever, you know.
And I would have done that except for with my unemployment situation and finding a job here soon. I wasn't sure in that moment, and my wife's birthday is October, 5 days after the release of the set. So it's like, I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to buy a box now in case I don't have money then.
Good thinking.
So, not to get too heavy into magic talk right now, but the projected, estimated-ish numbers for one of those new foil full art lands is 1 per case. Not per box, per case.
6 boxes.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
They're saying if you want...
It's not, I don't think it's not one foil mythic per box.
We'll talk about it here in a second.
Anyways, it's the chances are of pulling one that people guess, because Wizards doesn't really give us like hard numbers for that shit.
You know what though?
If
you pull one, it's going to be a $120 card probably.
Yeah, depending on which card you get.
Still probably at the low end though. At least at the beginning, they're going to be definitely inflated. We'll see how it settles into it. But
I think somewhere between like 150, not higher than that. Even though like I understand that people
even Steam vents.
Yeah, I think so. I think it will not go past
Scalding Tarn is going to be.
That's the one I was actually meant to say. Scalding Tarn.
Misty Rainforest and Scalding Tarn are going to be like $300. Probably.
You think so?
Yeah.
Fair enough. I guess okay, how about that? Okay, Shocklands.
That's what I'm saying. I agree the Shockland price that
probably I think Shockland
but
price.
those fetches that are already $80 by themselves, the regular version, and now you're talking about an ultra rare premium.
You're right.
version.
No, you're right.
I mean,
I'm stupid for saying that. You're right. But the Shocklands will definitely be like $100.
So if you're into the whole finance thing, there was a really good article about this topic on mtgprice.com called "Going Mad, Welcome to the Chase." So go ahead.
The dragon.
Go ahead and check that out. It's really good. I'm not into like finance articles, but that was really well put.
And I kind of like finance. How about this? If we got to go like lore and finance, I'll definitely be finance first.
Yeah, I like finance
for sure.
Anyways, go on, Crow.
Well, to that same point though, did you guys know that in the first Zendikar, because I wasn't playing at that time, that they did this similar kind of thing where there's like a treasure hunt deal where they reprinted like classes, like Black Lotus was in like cards you could find. It was like treasure hunt or treasure something or other. And they could find these different cards like very sparsely, and it wasn't even
I heard about the
announced.
treasure hunt thing, but I didn't know what cards were in it.
So like, they showed like there's like the Power 9 was in there, Black Lotus, and then a bunch of other like super high priced cards,
dual lands and stuff like that. I don't think they actually now don't quote me because I don't fucking know, but they didn't reprint them. It's just they had like excess or something like that, so they just threw them in just randomly, and they didn't tell anybody that they were doing it. So people at the pre-release were just like, what the fuck is this Mox doing in here? Like,
holy shit.
Yeah, fucking.
I just opened money.
So it's kind of like the God Packs from Theros where they didn't tell us they were doing it. They just did it.
Hope they do something like that.
What were those?
Where it was all the gods.
One pack.
I was going to say,
15
yeah,
gods.
I forgot about that.
15 gods.
Yeah, it was 15 god cards, just like
That'd
that.
be fucking sweet.
No, I never saw anyone open one, so.
That'd be awesome, though.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So yeah, they did do that. I think it was called Treasure Hunt or something like that.
Treasure Cruise.
It was something like that, yeah.
They took the T-Cruise, dude.
T2.
But, my week hasn't been overall exciting. Potter game yesterday and a couple things, whatnot, but that was pretty much it.
Oh, no, well, you have prospects for a new job.
I do.
Which is nice. I mean, it's just nice to know that, like,
I talked to a buddy.
People want you, bro.
He already set up an interview for me for this one job. I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. And then my dad comes up called me today, like, oh, this guy we know at the bar works construction. He calls me and he goes, how does $30 an hour to start sound? I'm like, well, good. And he's like, okay, well, tomorrow I go to the job interview. I'm like, well, that's awesome. Kind of sucks to basically tell my friend, sorry I had you talk to your boss yesterday. Fuck. So I kind of feel bad about that. But minimum wage plus tips, being a security guard downtown at a fucking nightclub, or $30 an hour to start.
I don't know, man. I can't make that decision, dude. I don't even know.
It seems pretty straightforward, even if I don't want to go do that.
You know, even more than that is that security guard is not full time.
Agreed.
So, which is even that week. I mean, it's like, I'm not going to say it's not an enjoyable job.
It was a fallback thing. It was just like, I know my buddy can get this for me.
Right.
So I'm getting close and needing to find something. So I was like, I talked to him, and suddenly the next day.
30 an hour.
This is kind of how it always worked for me. My wife always gets stressed out, like, what are we going to do this now? I always tell her, honey, it's going to work out. And this type of thing that always happens to me in any kind of situation where I don't stress about it, and it just works out in exact timing when I need it.
Nice.
He actually got an interview on Tuesday, so.
Good.
Can you talk about where? Or?
Good luck to us. It's actually top secret, and but they do have poles there, and they're made out of brass?
There's a lot of KY
so-
jelly everywhere.
Yeah,
Because the brass rail downtown.
It's probably because of your
Grass
sweet announcer voice.
Yes.
And next on the stage is Misty Rainforest.
Oh my god, that's such a good question. What magic cards would be good stripper names?
We just got the answer. That was good off the top of your head there, bro.
Yeah, that's good.
That
works
good.
pretty
Is
well.
that
You can do that.
Dub over his voice and pretending to be an announcer and put in Bruce Buffer.
Doing post, dude. Doing post.
Yeah, doing post. It's at a biofuel company, so we'll see.
Nice.
Biofuel sweet. Maybe you can give me some. convert my car.
It's delicious.
So that's been about my week, So I've been grinding out on Magic Duels because I enjoy playing and earning things and whatnot. So I love MTGO because I like playing it, but Duels, I'm having a good time. I actually built a couple of good decks on there, so I get to go through and just grind it out, open packs, and I'm have fun with it. So
TCG player, every Monday and Thursday, usually they have like a modern deck from Frank Lepore and then a standard deck from Frank Lepore on Thursdays, so Monday, Thursday, whatever. And that's sweet because I get to, I watch all of the videos, whatever. This Monday, they didn't have him, they had somebody else, and they did, Magic Duels Mondays. And they had like a mono.
That's gross.
They had like a mono red burn deck, like a burn aggro deck.
It's horrible.
For
Magic
Duels.
It's so bad.
I was like,
there's not enough support for a burn deck in there. No.
Who the fuck is streaming Magic Duels?
David Levitt.
Yeah, oh dude, fuck that motherfucker.
But who?
He followed me today, you imagine that?
Hey, he followed me too. That's
Dude,
weird.
it's crazy, dude. And then he followed me again last week, and then again the week before that. So
Follow it all over.
no, but it was funny that because he did follow me like a week ago, he's already followed me like 7 times. But then when he followed me, I looked at my Twitter feed.
Unfollowing you?
Yeah, that's what he does. That's what he does. Yeah,
To try and get people to follow him.
Yeah, exactly. So like he does that, and so it's funny that all the Twitter feed for that day was like just making fun of him, which is like, look who followed me today. I feel so special. And it's like a snapshot, the fucking screen of his Twitter feed or the Twitter feed or whatever. I'm like, yeah, this is what this guy does. He wants attention. He wants people to notice him. He wants to get followers. He wants to make sure that like his name is like recognized. So he just keeps doing that. And I'm actually not going to say it's stupid because like it's annoying. But you got to give people credit where credit's due to say that like his name is now going to be, it has to be known.
Yeah.
You see that name fucking every week. And yeah, it's totally annoying and stupid, but I mean, all I'm saying is that from a, salesperson standpoint or something like that, he figured something out and it works.
He looks like Ross from Friends.
He does look like that. Story. He does look like that. He's also a huge faggot. The whole cast. Fuck that motherfucker. Yeah.
Just like Ross from Friends?
No.
Oh.
Actually, Ross from Friends, I've heard he's a bad man. So,
He's a bad man.
I recently figured out that he like streams early in the morning and then just replays his stream like he has like a half-hour break and replays it over and over again all day long into the night and everything.
Nah, fuck that motherfucker.
And so many, I think Dr. Jeeves was recently giving him shit for like, what the fuck are you doing? All this? Like, you're gonna lose listener or followers because you replay your shit and there's no chat interaction and this and that. And he came back with like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but you're wrong because my numbers exponentially continue to grow every month. So I'm like, yeah, he's
a smart man. That sucks massive costs.
He's working the system and he's doing what he's doing. So I don't know what to say about it, but.
Gay dudes are usually smart.
Jesus Christ. No, I don't hate him as much as you do. He is annoying, but...
He's not gonna get a gooch picture from me on Twitter,
Yeah, it's not MTG Gru or whatever the fuck his name is,
So speaking of gooches, what's up, Ryke?
Oh, my gooch is strong!
Super taint. Super taint.
How's your back pussy doing?
Back pussy is moister than ever, and it's feeling great. Feeling great. I like it, Bob. It feels good.
Oh, you missed the listener we had last week. It was a shout out to you, bro. It was at Wet Pussy for Ryke.
Oh god.
New listener, right in.
Yeah, you missed it, dude.
I missed all of it.
Unfortunate, dude. But she might want to contact you later.
Yeah. I hope he does.
Or he, I don't know. Wet back pussy for Ryke.
Wet back pussy.
That's racist. My dumb girlfriend resents that.
I am also
my dumb
Oh shit. That's good. That's good.
You can't be racist if I also am a wetback. So.
Yeah, it makes it all okay.
You are as much of a wetback as I am.
Yeah, but when the paperwork says
I can click in the Hispanic box.
Yeah, no, because my girlfriend, when we filled out like her passports, I put Caucasian, and she's like, "You're not Caucasian." I'm like, "I know, but it's just such a fucking gray, it's just a gray area." I don't know what to say.
I just don't want to check Hispanic.
Like I'm like way more.
They'll look at me way more.
I'm like half French.
They won't let me on the plane.
I'm like so much more European than I am Mexican, but I am Mexican. If I'm 1% Mexican, I just have to be Hispanic on all my paperwork. I'm okay with that because who gives a shit? But I try to be real.
Like, how Mexican are you?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
It's easier for you to get into college if you click Hispanic, though.
Well, I don't care about college.
Like
sombrero Mexican?
Biologically, like how much are you?
I am
One spick.
anywhere between 12 and a half and 25.
You're off the cast.
No matter what number he said.
Halfway through you telling me, I was just like, that's hilarious. So, up to a quarter.
Okay.
Up to a quarter.
Okay.
You're off the gas. Get the fuck out of your own house.
We're like the Sons of Anarchy, you know. We're not racist, but you have to be fully white to be on there.
Hermanos de Anarchy.
Ay, my back pussy.
It's the wet back pussy. That just works.
We got another new one. Yeah. Hispanics, watch out. We got 49 more episodes.
We're coming for you.
We have to keep him now because now we can say it because he's Mexican, so we have one on the
Yeah,
cast.
exactly.
Yeah, that makes it all okay.
Fuck, I'm 1% Mexican.
You fucking in Mexico doesn't
You
count.
have like 100 grandparents.
Maybe.
No, he's just talking about putting his dick in. He's got his 1 inch in his Mexican girl, so.
She owns your balls, therefore.
That's very true.
There you go.
Obviously.
Oh my god.
Ryke did
So my
Mexican.
yeah, I
nomad.
did Mexicans and Spanish food. And
Actually,
all
we're talking about
sorts of
guns. So
Yeah,
here we go.
So we'll go into that. Yeah, I can't beat that. That was good. Hold on, let me compose myself. Just from the wetback pussy is just too much. Too much
Nice
for
to vote for Trump so we can try to get your ass out of the country, too.
I know, right? Gotta build that goddamn wall.
I'm not registered to vote.
I'm not registered
My green
Republican.
card says I can't vote.
Obama says you can, though, because he doesn't care what the fucking paperwork really says.
But yeah, my week has been awesome because it's like the highlight of my week is my wife and I on Saturday we drove up to a place called Carlsbad Outlet Center.
Oh.
And there was a store called, what is it again? Like, what's the name of that?
All I know
guy's name.
This is the best. This is my favorite thing ever. What's happening right
That
now?
was so legitimate. That was
What's the name of that? It's like
I'm so happy to be with you guys right now.
something. Samson.
So close.
Sappy,
Samsonite.
Swami.
Samsonite. Yeah, that's
This
it.
is way off.
So yeah, Swamp. Yeah. So we went to the Samsonite store at the outlet center, and I bought some like $200 luggage. It was pretty nice.
Wow.
Pretty nice.
Wow.
I paid $200
Does
for.
it have 4 wheels?
It has 4 wheels
Impressive.
that
Impressive.
spin. They spin in like 360
Yeah,
degrees.
oh yeah.
Are you serious right now? Or is this like still a Dumb and Dumber joke?
No.
No, this is real. No, this is real.
This was your exciting Saturday that you're happy about?
This was my money, Dick. I will talk about when I spend my money.
Yeah, we went to the Samsonite store at the Carlsbad Outlet Center.
Like,
What's
this
wrong?
is a really long going on Dumb and Dumber joke. I don't know what's happening right now, but it's not funny anymore. What's happening?
Really dragging it out.
No, we could have talked about him buying like a dead bird or something.
Yeah, no, but yeah, we ended up, actually, I didn't buy anything at the Samsonite store. We did go there because we need luggage because we're flying. My wife and I are taking a trip to Italy, and we're leaving October 31st on Halloween.
Another excuse for you to miss the podcast.
I know, I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks, so you guys have to like just man up for another 2 weeks.
Quickness.
I know. So we had to fucking, like, we bought this nice ass luggage that we got for our wedding gift. And of course the fucking luggage that we have is like 3 inches too long. Which I'll never know that.
You just can't pack it in the compartment.
It's just,
No matter how hard
it
you
just
try.
doesn't.
I love how we just sit here and like wait for that one opportunity to make a dick joke. Like it just has to happen.
So yeah. Anyway.
Whenever we do this, I'm like, I think about the iTunes review that we have. It's like, these guys are fucking idiots. They just have they're a bunch of teenagers and have like dicks all day. It's like, yeah, we are, and fuck you.
Yeah, this is what it
Nailed
is.
it.
This is what you signed up for. Dick jokes all day long.
This is what you
every day.
wanted.
Yeah, we only aim to please each other.
That really is what it's about.
But yeah, so we ended up buying this luggage because our nice luggage is fucking just a little too big to fit on international flights, and we're only doing carry-on because I fuck paying for actually like to fly your luggage anywhere. It's like $50 like for luggage to fly. But anyways, that was.
What are you gonna do carry on for 2 weeks with of fucking clothes?
Oh baby, I wear that same underwear for 2 weeks. You better believe it. Holes and all.
You just like have a clothes washer in your hotel.
So literally, you literally pack them
What
up
happens
over
if you
there.
shit your pants like I did before the cast? And like,
Well,
you just
the
don't do
whole
it?
thing is you just don't do that.
Good thing Depends is our sponsor.
Better get a call back.
Oh shit! No, it's like you literally like you just pack like 5 changes of clothes and you just fucking switch it up and you can wash it in the sink. You just buy detergent there.
It's okay. You don't have to go over it all the way. I was kind of making.
You take your clothes out, you wear them, and then you take them off at the end of the day, and you can like put them in a sink with water, and then you put a little detergent in it, and you swish it around.
Dude, don't you watch Martha Stewart?
Come
God
on.
damn it!
And then when you rinse it out,
That's a lot of effort on vacation, right?
You hang it up somewhere, and it just dries on its own. It's crazy.
That actually is crazy.
It's crazy. But no, anyways. So we had to buy special luggage just so we can fly international.
They don't have Mexicans there that can wash it for you.
I'm sure they do actually. They have Spanish people. They're it's on.
That's not Mexican.
Not the same thing.
Not the same.
No, not the same
Close
thing.
enough.
They're more highbrowed.
Speak similar language. It's fine. But so that was like the highlight of my fucking weekend. We like went and bought luggage. It was great.
What about your brother's gun?
Oh, that's just guns.
No, that's a cool gun though.
No, but yeah, all right. So I got my gun back like a couple weeks ago. I actually picked it up. I had to do another 10-day registration, which I said like kind of a couple weeks ago.
I saw the gun and it's sexy though.
I finally got to pick it up from the dealer again, and I got to take it out again and fucking re-sight it in because they fucked everything up when I sent it. And my brother, his birthday was 2 weeks ago, and for his birthday, he went out and bought a fucking bitchin' ass shotgun.
Yeah, dude, that thing is pretty fucking sweet.
It actually made you look tough.
I was wearing like a fucking like dress shirt and fucking slacks,
like your everyday apparel,
like my everyday apparel, and I was fucking holding the shotgun, and
you
it made
like
me
you
look
worked at the
Rambo.
post office.
Yeah, I was slightly disgruntled that they didn't pay me my paycheck, but he got I don't know if you guys probably won't know it. It's called a Kel-Tec is the name of the company that manufacture it. It's a Kel-Tec KSG. Well, essentially what it is a full-size shotgun in a small package. They call it a bullpup design, whereas you get a full-length barrel, but instead of having like a big stock or like, handguard or whatever sticking out, so it's like a 30-inch rifle, instead of that, they pretty much move the whole thing, like compress it down and put the what they call the action is where the bullet actually ignites and shoots down the barrel, and they compress it down so it's literally almost under your armpit, like where the combustion's happening.
How's the fucking kick on that thing then?
It's like a shotgun.
No, but I mean, since it's shorter, does that?
It still kicks just as bad as a regular shotgun. Yeah, but it's just a more compact thing, and like you load it kind of like where your arm would be essentially. So it's called a bullpup design, and it's like a one of a kind shotgun that never really. There's been bullpup rifles and other guns that do that same thing. Like I don't know if you guys seen like a Steyr AUG or like, if you play Counter-Strike, you know what an AUG is, or like some other fucking newer rifles that are.
Yeah, the magazine and all the action happens in the stock.
Yeah, it's all built into the stock. And so this shotgun's unique because it does that, and it's the first shotgun I believe that had that design, but it also has, shotguns are usually feed from a tube magazine instead of like a regular, attachable magazine like some semi-automatic shotguns do. But this is like the old style where you actually holds like 7 rounds in a tube, like a Remington, like a regular hunting shotgun. You would put rounds in a tube that feeds in the shotgun.
The tube that you actually have the pump on that you like actually.
Yeah, you'd rack it. So this
rack the rifle that's actually filled with ammo.
Yeah, this shotgun is you have to pump it, so it's a pump action shotgun essentially, but it has 2 feeding tubes. So instead of just 7 rounds in like a normal shotgun, you get 14 rounds, and it has a little toggle switch where you switch between the tubes. So like you can pump out 8 shots out of one tube, and you flip a toggle, and you have another.
It's
8
actually
to go.
really dope to think that a gun has a toggle like where a car would have like a toggle from like 2 fuel tanks or something like that. You have a fucking switch that goes left and right for tubes. Like I've never seen that in a gun. That's hilarious.
Yeah, so it's fucking badass, and it's super like crazy. He bought like a rail for it. Like he already bought like all these accessories for it before he even had the rifle. Like he bought them.
It's not expensive enough. You just gotta.
Yeah, like I'm already paying like $1,000 grand for the shotgun, like bare bones.
3 more grand on
$1,000, and he paid like another $600 in accessories. So he got like this rail that goes on top, and it has these fucking they're little shotgun shell holsters. So he has like 6 holsters on like the left side of the shotgun and 6 on the right. So you can literally put the shotgun shells in the fucking on the top of it. So it looks already like super badass, like zombie killer.
It looks insane, honestly.
Yeah.
It's a very good looking.
You're
gun.
so much whiter than me.
And it has like a muzzle brake on it, so it's crazy.
Volunteer Border Patrol.
Yeah. So there is any kind of shit that goes down, you know where to come. Because we have Arsenal already. But it's awesome. The only thing I'm scared about is, when you're pumping it, cause the shotgun's so short, like normally a regular shotgun you have 36 inches like of length. You have to reach your arm out before you get your hand past the muzzle. This one's like, it's right up there. So if you're pumping this thing really hard and your little, your hand stop breaks.
Just stop.
No. I was laughing because you can blow your hand off.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Literally blow your hand off.
Pumping it hard.
No.
Yeah, if you're pumping it too hard.
He's doing the hand movement right
Yeah, if you're just getting it and you got that rhythm going and you just pump it a little too hard and it breaks, you can literally shoot your hand off.
Oh, that sounds scary.
And there's like pictures of it online.
Yeah, someone's already done that, so.
Oh, great.
I saw a picture today too. I saw the picture today.
Yeah, the guy's hand is not good.
Yeah, it's
So
fucking.
that's the only downside of the bullpup design like that.
It's only a little downside. It's okay.
But other than that, it is fucking badass.
Well, hopefully he's not going to be like shooting down a crowd of people. Like, he doesn't need to like pump that hard.
Well, you never know. You never know. But yeah, that's fucking badass. And
No, don't try to save it. You're done.
No, I'm not. I'm just.
It's ended.
Dude, I fucking set him up and you guys just.
Well, you said it and you
said it and we forget it.
You're like waiting for it, like, come on.
Someone gonna? No, you're gonna think about this later tonight and be depressed.
yes,
Because you failed.
think about what you said.
Nothing to say. Yep, that's it. And magic
He's gonna
time.
think about
Here
his
we go.
girlfriend buying a car before he thinks about it.
But yeah, that was my week. We bought some luggage and I got to play with a shotgun. It's America. Love it.
Right on.
So I guess we
Whatever,
have.
dude.
No. I'm.
Salt, get out of here.
No. He's driving the boat, dude.
Yeah, we're actually moving on
Actually,
to.
you're right. You're right.
All right.
You're
all
right.
right.
Now that I've talked about shotguns, let's move on to magic, which I know nothing about anymore. So there's con spoilers, right? That's
Yeah.
what came out this year.
Yeah, battle.
We're
what are the
playing
gods for?
Gate Crash now. Is that what we're on?
Almost. Gate Crash is the next step.
We're doing Gate
It's
Crash.
Oath of the Gatewatch.
So return to Battle to Zendikar.
That's funny that they call it Gatewatch when like Gate Crash came out. It just seems silly to me that they have
Before
this
getting
name.
spoilers, I actually saw something today. It was like a I want to believe type of X-File type of poster. And the artwork from Artisan of Kozilek, his headpiece is the exact same like artwork
I saw
that
it
is going to be
today,
a symbol for Oath of Gatewatch.
Yep.
So people are like, I want to believe there's some kind of crossover with that. I don't know what they're believing in, but whatever. It's kind of interesting that it actually is the same thing.
So we're going to be talking about Battle for Zendikar spoilers, and the Oath of the Gatewatch is the name of the next set, the smaller set that's going to come after.
Which is to make sure people remember that that's the end of the set because they're only doing two. There's two
large
sets.
set, small set.
Everything's rotating out.
Two sets of block.
Cons and dragons and all that?
Cons and Fate
We'll rotate out.
And then dragon stays, right?
and Dragons and Origin stays.
Okay.
So they're rotating out instead of being 4 sets that rotate at the same time, they do 2 sets rotating at the same time.
So it's quickly
every
go
6
from
months.
That's not
We
going
have
to.
8 sets right now, so quickly go from 8 down to 6, and then quickly down to being 4 at a time.
Well, Cons isn't going to rotate for a while.
What's that?
Cons isn't rotating for a while.
In January it is.
When Oath comes out?
Yeah. No, not when Oath comes out before January. Right? Or does it come in January?
It sounds
okay,
right.
then it comes out in April, whatever. Whenever,
Yeah, so not for a while.
That's a good time.
Not when Oath comes out, but what's set after Oath. So yeah, like April Cons and Fate rotate out.
So this is an excellent point. I downloaded and saved the little animation of the new rotation, and I posted it on Twitter so I could look at it and remember when the fuck everything happens.
Yeah, it's like harder.
Because like the idea, I get the idea. Like there's gonna be 2 sets in a block, and then blah blah blah, and then Fate and Dragons is gonna be their own little 2-set thing just for simplicity reasons. But I'm not sure when this fucking shit happens and what stays and what goes at exact which time.
So it's going to be basically It's going to be every like March and every September of every year, basically somewhere around there. March to September is when it's going to be a rotation of every year. So figure that March 2016 is going to be Cons and Fate dropping out, and then September of next year is going to be Dragons and Origins dropping out. Not that you remember that. I'm just saying that's what it is.
I'm already confused.
It's almost kind of feel bad for like new players just getting in because like even for me like just starting at M15 like rotation is a confusing situation. Like just to see even your little GIF of like showing you what months happens, it's still like what does that mean? It's still kind of confusing to like remember and line it up. And so like this point right now where it's transitioning to a new thing, it's even harder for newer players to understand.
What I thought was going to happen is that prices for standard would go down a little bit. And that does not seem like it's going to happen at all.
I don't.
Which I really thought that it would just go down a little bit because, like, people are buying it when there's no, long-term value for cards that are only good in standard. I mean, I understand that, like, the new Jace, like, is going to be around because it's not just standard or, like, Hangerback or whatever, Collected Company. Like, those cards are going to stay. But, like, other cards that are still, $21, I'm like, why is that 21? Like, they're spending 21 for a card that's going to be $3 and
I feel like
standard is still like the main money maker.
It is.
Though,
it is.
Like
I feel like this rotation thing isn't real until Cons goes away because that's still like the 3-set block is still together, so it's not. I don't think the prices are going to adjust to the new rotation until Cons rotates out.
You realize,
you think they're going
only had Cons for a year or whatever. It's like,
you think they're going to adjust? Do you think they're going to go down a little bit maybe?
No, what I think is going to happen is it's going to be a whole lot faster to where they're going to fluctuate quicker because of the new rotation.
So prices are going to spike the same and then just drop off faster or something along those lines?
Yeah, it's going to be the same bulls and bears, but it's just going to be compressed a little bit.
Okay, fair enough. So, I mean, everyone listening to this, if you go to Mythic Spoiler, if you have a Twitter account, you're going to see a lot of these cards. And so what we're talking about is, going to be familiar to you, but we're going to voice our opinions.
Yeah, start our spoiler season here.
Yes.
Let's just
fuck all these cards. Let's talk about the lands.
Pretty much.
So let's talk about Omnath, Locust of Rage. And please, Ryke, please talk.
Alright, I didn't like this card at first. At first glance, I said 7 mana, fuck that. Fuck that 7 mana. But then I was like, wait, it's a 5/5. But wait, when it has landfall, which means whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you get a 5/5 red-green elemental token. And I was like, that's fucking sweet.
Pretty cool.
That's sweet. Okay, but it doesn't do anything when it comes down that turn unless you had a land. But wait.
It still doesn't, but go on.
But wait, it doesn't. So it's way overcosted. And it says, so anyways, when this thing dies or any other elemental creature you have dies, it gets to deal 3 damage to target creature or player. I like it because it does say you can do 3 damage to target creature or player. If it just said, like, player, then this card would be trash.
Okay, and there's a couple things you have to keep in mind. Like, just when you're looking at this card in a vacuum, you're like, alright, it makes 5/5 elementals, and then if they die, then it kind of lightning bolts them. The new mechanic, Awaken, where you cast a spell, but if you pay for its Awaken cost, it puts 1/1 counters on whatever land you want and turns it into an elemental creature.
Correct.
So
elementals are they're coming back a little bit stronger. They've always been here in little bits and pieces, but I do feel like, so we have like vampires coming back, elementals coming back.
Like Zendikar's all about the land awakening, the land being eaten, the land fighting back, so they're going to be elemental lands.
Right. Which is really good, because it's a really good point.
And also think about this card with fetch lands.
Yeah, fetch lands.
So you're going to get 15 power on board.
Yeah, it's just a matter of getting that 7 mana, like, in a good amount of time. So there actually is some, I was looking at, like, different cards now, it looks like there is some decent ramp, or possibilities to get ramp, so.
Animus Awakening, Sword of the Animus, it's just a start. You're going to have to be able to pump things because, Eldrazi are here, so there's going to be pump situations.
No, so far we've seen colorless mana all over the place.
Yeah, a lot of colorless mana.
The new Scion tokens that come out that are 1/1 instead of 0/1.
Even that Chandler for, I think it's only a common maybe, but it's like for 5 mana, it's a 4/4, but it can also tap for 2 colorless.
I think this card, it has a place, but it's not in my deck.
And also, just a side note, we're talking about big creatures and Eldrazi. See the Unwritten is already going the fuck up.
Is it really?
Oh yeah.
Eldrazi, yeah, because Eldrazi.
That was a card that I drew so many of, and I was always like, God damn, I don't fucking see the unwritten. Now I'm like, yeah, I see the unwritten.
Brainstorm Brewery had talked about it, I don't know, I feel like a month ago, or if not longer, because, people were guessing Eldrazi are coming, and this, that, and so they called it, they said, pick them up now, and now they've already shot back up.
Yep.
How much are they now?
I don't even know, $8 or something.
What were they before?
Like 2 at the most.
Really?
I mean, it wasn't. It was a not played card at all. So it was like a junk mythic rare. Isn't that mythic?
It's mythic, yeah.
Yeah, it was like a junk mythic for the longest time. Now it's going up. I mean, it was a mythic, so it kept like that $1 to $2 range.
It was never went to anywhere.
It's a powerful effect. So even if cards don't see play, in standard or in eternal formats, if it's powerful, it's still going to maintain like somewhat of a price. It's never going to be like a 50-cent card like the Chain Veil or fucking something like that. It's more powerful than that, so it's going to maintain that price. But now that we have the bigger creatures coming, you're going to be searching for your Eldrazi, your Ulamogs, or whatever the fuck else is coming. You're going to be able to search those that pretty fucking easily.
So on that, before we move on real quick, because I was higher on this card than you guys going into it, and since then I've turned Knife the corner since he realized that the lands become elementals as well. I mean, this isn't a card that you're going to be 4 of in any deck, especially because of the 4 pips.
So top.
Double red, 2 green. I mean, that's a problem. So you're thinking probably like 2 in a deck. But with all this ramp going on, like, this is a fucking good card to ramp into and drop more lands on top of it to make all these elemental tokens.
You have to ramp
that
this
also
to
do Thunderbreak Regent abilities. I mean, I think it's a pretty powerful card, personally. I like this card.
I think so too.
I have to see how everything else plays out, but it does look, I mean, at first glance, I was not having any of it, but I could see playing
Here's
it.
another thing. I mean, like, Dragonlord Atarka totally worked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there were decks making top 8 that played 4 legendary Dragonlord Atarkas because of, how strong it is. And it's 7 mana also.
But it does something when it enters.
You're right, but it doesn't do anything after that. This thing does everything after that. So I get it that it doesn't
There's so many other cards that turn.
But I don't like being so
everything they enter. There's so many that can't be like the dies to murder or dies to fucking everything. That can't be the only
if it said something
judgment.
like when an elemental enters the battlefield, do 3 damage.
Yeah, then it would be.
That would be an easy shoo-in for being a great card.
But that's way too overpowered.
You're right. It is. Yes, it is.
But I mean, I don't like being so dependent on landfall. I mean, yeah, it's good. Like, when you're already, like, I feel like if I flood out already and I've been playing my mana, I haven't been holding my mana
but you know what? Also,
anticipation
landfill
for this.
does a special thing where it makes every card you draw good.
Yeah.
Because you're going to draw a creature that you want to play, or you're going to draw a land that you don't care about, but all of a sudden it does something.
Well, what if you have, like, no lands in hand and you draw this guy, and that's the only thing you can play, and then you play him and he gets removed? And
Oh no, it's a 5/5 that
For
has
7.
has
At the
upside.
very least,
Yeah, he
it
still
still does a lightning bolt.
It does lightning bolt.
At the very least.
That's, when it dies, so that's okay
It's
too.
like the fucking dragon.
Well, why wouldn't you just play Dragon Lord Atarka then?
No, the Thunderbreak region. It's just like that,
Yeah.
except more expensive, but it has a bigger upside.
All elementals. So you can make an elemental deck based on him and other, the Awaken effect, whatever other elementals in the current stand that you can play, or whatever you're playing this in, those also gain that effect.
I will say that the colorless ramp, though, will be an issue with the mana cost.
I agree. Which is why there's no chance it will be a 4-card of any deck.
Yeah, if it was red-green only and 5, it'd be a lot different.
Yeah.
Which is what Dragonlord Atarka is. It'd be a lot different to make sure that you can just cast it.
Exactly why I agree. That was my first point. Like, there's no way it's ever a 4 because of the 4 pips.
I'll tell you what,
Okay,
though.
a strong card.
Limited bomb.
So here we go. Nissa, when she turns into a planeswalker, she can minus to put a legendary 4/4 elemental, but her ultimate is untap up to 6 target lands. They become 6/6 elemental creatures. And about the pips, the 2 red and 2 green, we have fetch lands and we have dual lands that can be fetched. But we'll get to that in a little bit. But it's not like you're going to always be searching up basics with your fetches now. You're going to be able to
I'm
search
talking about creature ramp. I'm not talking about lands. Because, lands will cast whatever spell you want. But when you have there's a lot of colorless ramp. And it might make it more difficult because you only are able to use 3 of those ramp 3 of that colorless.
3
and you gotta make sure that you have the double red, double green. I know it's not going to be like that hard, but it makes it where, building a deck around it, you can't just use everything that makes it as quick as possible. You have to really eliminate certain things that could make it quicker to get to 7. But the thing is, the things that make it so quick, like a Soul Ring type effect, I mean, we don't have that, but I'm just saying those kind of effects, that it just doesn't get you what you need because you need the colors still. So yeah, if you had 4 mana and you had, that could tap for 2 green and 2 red, from the dual lands or whatever, okay, fine, but, and that more likely than not, okay, fine, maybe it will work out, but otherwise I still think that the mana cost does put a hinder for what the set wants to do, which is ramp through colorless.
I agree with that entirely. But at the same time, I agree with that, but also red-green ramp monster decks, I mean, they're not going to have a problem with those pips either, though.
Fair enough.
Once it gets going.
But then again, this is just going to be a 1 of or 2 of in a red-green monster shell.
I wouldn't pay anything more than $8 for that card.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'd be surprised if it was more than 5.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Not that great.
It is strong though, but I agree. It's
but
not
then again,
be,
we don't know what we're talking about.
This card's not going to take down standard. How about that? But it's going to be good. It's not going to take down standard.
I think it's going to slot into the Dragon Lord Target deck.
It'll slot in, yeah, and it will do well, but it's not going to take anything down. It's not going to be like, oh man, the Omnarth deck is the deck. I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Yeah.
I hear you overall, and that could be a thing, but I don't know. I've got more in this card than I think you guys do.
Fair enough.
This is my current calling card of thinking that this is going to be a good card.
Fair enough. Any of these other cards you want to talk about? Because I don't really want to. Especially with the Defiant Bloodlord. Who gives a shit?
Hedron Archive.
That's such a bad fucking intro pack right
Yeah, it's a
here.
bad card.
7 mana for a 4/5? I mean, come on.
Hedron Archive is a
Commander.
4 mana artifact. Yeah, it's taps for 2 mana. Pay 2, sack it, draw 2 cards. There's nothing in standard that's going to play this. It's going to be all
The
Commander.
cool thing about this, though, is the flavor, because...
No, I think it's dope.
Well, but the flavor,
Or the flavor,
it is the Mind Stone is the 2 mana, this is the 4 mana, and there's another one that's 6 mana,
And
and
the
they
same
all
thing,
do,
yeah.
the Mind Stone taps for 1, this 4-1 taps for 2, the
Which
6 mana
means
taps
you
for
just play
3.
one of each in Commander and you're having a great time.
It's just kind of a cool, like, the Ian Duke went over it, I believe. It's kind of a cool, like, throughout Magic history flavor, this is the slot in of that particular cycle.
Right.
Other than that, though, it's not going to see play.
Exactly.
Let's
so
talk about
we
Eldrazi.
have Eldrazi now. Like, and when I mean Eldrazi, I mean like, fucking Christ, we have a lot of Eldrazi coming in. The art is amazing. All of it is just like really got good detail, really fucking epic looking. It's awesome art looking, And of course it stretches past the square of art. It goes onto the borders and to the text box.
I love that.
So it's just really cool that they're doing that, But I don't really want to go through everything, but I'll just say like there's a 5 mana 4/4 that Crow mentioned that you can tap for 2 mana, 2 colorless. Otherwise, just a 4/4 with no abilities. There's an 8 mana 8/9 with trample. There's a let's see here.
Let's slow down a little bit because we can talk about the.
Well, no, we'll talk about the good ones, yeah.
Okay.
But so those are the 2 like just vanilla. Who gives a shit? And then we have like a 4 mana 2/3 that brings out a 1/1. Eldrazi Scion. So whenever we say Eldrazi Scion for the rest of the cast, it's a creature that's a 1/1, colorless. You can sack it and add 1 colorless mana to your mana pool. Just like the old Eldrazi tokens.
Well, the flavor is now
except
like
it's a 1/1.
They've been feasting on Zendikar this whole time, this and that, so now they've gotten stronger.
So
now
they-
they're 1/1s, because before there were spawns that were 0/1s.
Right.
Now they're
Eldrazi
1/1s.
spawns, yeah.
They can still attack now on their own without
Which is
having
cool.
to
No,
just
that's actually like really, really cool. So those are like the basic ones. Otherwise, we're getting into an Eldrazi drone, which is, it's pretty dope. It's a 2 mana, 1/2. It's 1 and a blue. Devoid, makes it colorless, has flying and ingest. So it's just a nice, it's a 2 mana Eldrazi that's already weird. It's got ingest to help out with whatever shit's gonna happen in late game from like when, you can interact with your exiled cards through the higher mana costed Eldrazi, which we'll talk about. Yeah, we'll get to there's a few of them or whatever, a couple of them. So it's just a good way to get there. I figure at least just limited it'd be a really good time.
Yeah, I'm going to see play besides that, but that might not be a bad card limited.
It just depends to see what's coming out. I think that it's not like that strong of a card, but for some reason it might just fit to what mechanic. If like, ingest means more than we think it does, maybe this is a really good way to get that, thing started, the engine started, to when you finally drop something, it does a lot more. You know what I mean? Maybe they'll have a thing where
I don't think that card's going to be the one to do it, but I hear what you're saying.
But it's like there might be something that we already got that one that you can play the lands from, that.
I play that.
Agreed.
Maybe you'll be able to play, creatures from exile. You'll be able to play other spells from exile.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
if you have
There's chances.
that, this may be able to, get the ramp started. It's kind of like a Seder Wayfinder. Yeah. It's a Seder Wayfinder for this strategy.
To that same point, it also does help the card. I want to talk about the Eldrazi Processor creature, which is the Blight Herder.
Talk towards the goddamn microphone. God damn it.
The Eldrazi Processor, the Blight Herder, for 5 mana, colorless, is a 4/5. When you cast the Blight Herder, you may put 2 cards from your opponent's own from exile into their owner's graveyards. If you do, put 3 1/1 colorless Eldrazi Scions that have sack it for out of mana. So, I'm not saying that's great. I just like the idea, because fucking Mark Rosebar talked about this isn't going to be the only Eldrazi processor. There's going to be other processors, and they're all going to do the same kind of thing where they use the cards that you previously exiled, other creatures, to add scions and do other things to give you more ramp to get to your big.
So this is my point, and it's like I said, I'm not saying that this is going to be a standard deck. All I'm saying is that the reason they have ingest on something that's a 2-mana creature is to get to a creature like that. That's all I mean by that.
So you can play this strategy like
and otherwise
it's a limited.
Otherwise you can't.
So
it could be more. We don't have enough information.
Well,
yet
for right now, I can see like Mist Intruder for the ingest, like a 1/2 for 2 with a flying. That's like limited card you're going to be playing if you're going to be on this ingest strategy for sure.
For sure. And it's common, so that's nice.
Yeah.
And it definitely should be common because it's not very powerful, but still. Otherwise, we have the Barrage Tyrant. It's a 4 or 5 mana, 5/3 Eldrazi. It's 4 and a red, which, because that's devoid, like it's one of those things where it's a new thing for the set that like, yeah, it has a color and its mana cost, but it's not really a colorless creature because it has this new mechanic called devoid. This card has no color. So you can, pay 3, sacrifice another colorless creature, and then you deal damage to the sacrificed creature's power to target creature or player. So I like this, except that
it shouldn't be rare.
It shouldn't be rare, yes. Secondly, you're not going to want to sack a lot of stuff. You're really going to, if it had a more relevant ability where like you're sacking your tokens, your Scion tokens to do stuff, then that's great. But like, you're not sacking your tokens because it's only 1 damage. So like, you want to sack like, basically it just comes down to a,
this is late game, like burn, like
Nantuko Husk type thing. It's just, or something like that where it's just like, it's not going to do. It's not going to win the game.
But you can only say a colorless creature.
Yeah,
it's only colorless.
Yeah. That's why this card should not be a rare.
Yeah,
I feel like it's like a good limited late game where you're playing the Eldrazi plan, and it's like you have nothing else to do with your guy, and it's the only way you can get in damage.
Yeah. So we have this is like one of the other intro pack rares. It's a Hydra for 6. It's a 5/5. Has trample. And it has landfall. Wherever land enters the battlefield, you put a counter on it. If it was a forest, you put 2 counters on it. There's not much more to talk about. It's just a fucking Hydra that gets bigger like every other goddamn Hydra. Luckily it has trample, so at least it'll be like somewhat kind of playable. But, even if it was like this, I don't even know if it's like hardly limited playable if it didn't have trample, so.
Yeah, it's
I don't even matter.
I like the flavor of the new landfall situation where you put, because it's a green creature, you put a forest in, does extra things.
Yeah.
I like that new flavor of it, but the 2 cards I've shown so far are just, this and the Sphinx are just horrible intro pack rares that are just garbage.
Yeah.
So hopefully there's other landfall situations that maybe see that same effect, that's that flavor effect.
I actually like the Sphinx for like limited play.
For limited, sure, it's a Sphinx, it's a big flyer.
Yeah,
but
limited,
it's
absolutely.
never going to be in any kind of real deck.
Oh no.
We have Radiant Flames, 3 mana, 2 in a red for Converge, so it's a new mechanic. It's kind of like a Sunburst type thing, it seems like. Mm-hmm. Radiant Flames deals X damage to each creature, where X is the number of colors of mana spent to cast it. So kind of like, it's like Sunburst.
It's
also not a very good card.
I don't.
So
They were all like talking it up like it was all good, and like
it ain't a rare.
It's a fucking rare. It's not. Good enough.
It's not
even exile like Anger the Gods. It doesn't. You're probably. If you're playing a 3-color deck, maybe you get to do all 3. But
it's worse than Anger the Gods at its very best, and that's annoying. So
I just don't.
Moving on.
It shouldn't be rare.
Yeah, sucks. Totally sucks. Ruinous Path. 3 mana. It's 1 and 2 black. For a sorcery, that destroys target creature or planeswalker. Sounds familiar? Yes, it does. But it's a sorcery. But it also has Awaken 4, pay 7 mana instead of the 3. You get to kill a creature or planeswalker, plus you turn one of your lands into a 4/4 elemental. So
this is going to take the slot of Hero's Downfall, even though it's not as good because it's a sorcery, but it has a late game control decks want and that Awaken possibility as well. And for right now, this is the card that can also destroy target planeswalker. So this, while it may not be fantastic because of the sorcery effect, gives that control player the option for late game, but it's still going to slot into the Hero's Downfall slot.
And Crow pretty much said it. I don't see that this card is going to be the end all be all, but in the meta of Standard, when everything rotates out, then it's like, well, fuck, what else we got? And this does what you want it to. It's just that it's sorcery, which is annoying. But, I think it's a fine card. It's fine. Nothing great, but it's fine.
This next card is pretty fucking crazy, though.
This next card is not crazy, but it also is crazy.
Because there's only been done 4 or 5 other times in the history of Magic being a colorless instant.
Right. That's the only reason it's crazy.
Exactly.
The effect is not crazy. The idea of what it does, or the idea of that being a 3 mana colorless instant is ridiculous. But, I agree, it's not like super fantastic. But I think that's pretty cool, the flavor-wise of it, to having the Ulamog out there just
erasing the fucking planeswalkers in front of him and this and that. And the fact that it's a colorless instant, that's pretty fucking crazy. And then if you're doing all this ramp deck, it's still not going to not be that bad because you're probably going to have some big creature in your hand.
But it has to be a colorless creature.
So here's my problem with all Magic cards. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Too conditional.
when you when you put a card in your deck that can only work sometimes, I remove that card this instant. Same like what is it called? A Mana Leak. Mana Leak's a card that is this. They don't actually fall in the same category because Mana Leak is better than this card. But there's a thing about it that makes it where like, oh, I drew this card. There's no way I can cast this. That's kind of like that weird scenario. But I'm just saying there's some cards that you're like, okay, it's too late. There's no way I can cast this. In this sense, it's like, oh, I have a creature. I don't have a creature in hand. I probably won't have a creature in hand because even if I do, I'm going to play it that turn rather than play it or play this spell and then play it. Like you don't have enough mana for that. So basically, this card is going to be an only early game card, and it's very, very conditional. No, I don't care how much Eldrazi they have. It's all dependent on what's in your hand. If you're top decking and you draw this, put that card on your lap. Like, who gives a shit? That card is done.
I'm not trying to talk this thing up like it's fantastic.
No, I just can't. I can't stand things with this much conditional shit on it. It's very
conditional.
Very conditional. Really powerful, but like, when you cast it, but can you cast it? When I think of cards that like, can I cast it? That's fucking bullshit, and I hate cards like that.
Did we actually say his name of this card? Titan's Presence is the name of this card.
Right.
So, just to step back real quick. Yeah, Titan's Presence. So, I agree. Entirely agree. I just think that in generalities of what it is, it's pretty cool because Magic has only ever put out less than a handful of colorless instants.
And that is cool. I agree. That is cool. So, that's all that we get to talk about that.
But it's also
not,
very
it's
bad.
not good. It
will not see play.
Very bad.
So, we have full art. We get the art for a lot of the lands. I will say this.
One of the mountains is a reprint.
So one of each set is a reprint.
Is it?
Yeah, there's like 4 or whatever of each color, or 5 of each color, or whatever, and they have one reprint for each.
Which one's the reprint of the planes?
I don't know, but there is a reprint.
I don't think so.
There's one of each. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, that's only 2.
See that forest right there?
This yellow one.
See that forest right there?
Yep.
Well, I know the forest. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying there's one of each color. I don't know which one's there.
Go back to the planes real quick. It's this one here.
That one right there. There you go. So,
you sure?
Yes.
Either way,
I know it was a real bright one too, but I don't think it's that one.
I got them all though, so we'll have to figure it out later. But there's one of each color, whatever is a reprint.
Yeah, we're pointing at lands on the screen.
My favorite so far is the mountain number. What is that? 263. The very left, 263 out of 274.
This one?
Yeah,
that's 265.
265. That's my favorite land so far. It's a very it's like a. Where
volcanic rumble.
Volcanic, it's like down in the rocks, and you can see like lava kind of like coming out from the boulders and stuff like that. That's my favorite art so far. I will say that. Like if I get the fat packs or whatever, then I will try to make sure that I only play that mountain in my deck and not play any other mountains. So, but yeah, I mean, all the art looks good. I mean, simple as that. I really like all the art. It looks great. They reprinted the wrong forest because I don't like that forest.
Yeah, that's the tree getting fucked by a pyramid.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not into that art.
There's a way better forest that they should have reprinted.
Right. But I mean, otherwise, I'm still really excited about it. It seems really cool. Moving on to exciting stuff is the new dual lands that
Flaglands.
Rosewater was like, hey, we're getting new dual lands and you're going to be excited. And we kind of are, we kind of aren't. But otherwise, I mean, it's just. It's a fetchable dual land.
It's not better than a shock, but it's not bad.
No, it's not bad.
I'm still playing 4 of them.
It's not bad. You can fetch it because it has forest and plains or whatever it is in the
text line.
The text line for what kind of land it is, which means that you can fetch it. That means that it can enable itself with other abilities of other creatures that are in previous magic sets, where it says like go search out a forest. Like boom, I got to get this thing now too.
Don't quote me on this, but I think there's only 3 other types of dual lands that have like mountain forest in the name.
Right.
So there's only 3 other type of fetchable duels: the shocks, the true duels, and then
they called fast land or something.
I don't remember.
I know there's like the druid. The forest druid thing.
Yeah, that's true.
That's one rare instant, but I'm just saying.
But I mean, like cycles.
Yeah, cycles of lands, exactly.
I don't know the other one then. So unless it's that fast land, which I don't really know what the fast lands are.
So these lands, while I was looking that up, they have that, which is the most important part of the card, I feel like. Secondly, though, they enter the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands.
Which is...
Ouch.
That's not so good.
It's not so good. It's difficult to swallow a little bit because, you want dual lands. The whole thing of why Modern and all these things can be so powerful with multiple colors is turn 1. You look at your opening hand and you're like, oh shit, I got a Marsh Flats. And I'm going to be able to fetch the other color I need to play this, Brainstorm or whatever. Mm-hmm. And you don't have that. No, not now. You don't have those opening explosive
You can
turns.
do that, but you can't do it that same
You can't do that turn. So that's annoying. When I mean annoying, for me it's very annoying. I'll probably hate these lands more than everyone here. Even though I still like them, I just think that there's a lot of downside here. There's a lot of downside.
If I'm playing these lands, I'm not expecting to come in on untapped. And in a standard deck, any kind of that,
is really annoying.
It's just to fix your mana base.
I don't even think it's all that bad. You play a fetch on turn 1, and then at the end of your opponent's turn 1, you fetch for the land. It comes in tapped, and then it automatically untaps.
Yeah, Terrible for Expanse does that though. For every land. It's not dual land, but I'm just saying it's just...
Well, no.
I know it's not the same thing.
That's not even close to the same thing.
That's like saying Evolving Wilds is the same as a fetch. It's not the same. It's not the same comment.
You're right, but when you're going for this, it is different. I agree because you're getting 2 instead of 1. But the idea is you want to accelerate your game,
and we get it.
And you're not doing that. You're smoothing out your game, but you're not accelerating your game.
So from my perspective, there's no downside because. Let's say, you play a fetch on turn 2. And then, maybe you have a counter spell. So if they play a spell that you actually want to counter, you go fetch a fucking island and then you counter it. Or if they don't play anything, you crack it and go find one of these lands. It comes in tapped and then automatically untaps.
You have brought up a valid point.
No, it does give you the ability.
I am not as down on these as he is, as Hot Sauce is. I think they're better than what he's getting at. But that's a very good point you bring up.
Yeah, I'm excited to play them because they're going to be playable. They're going to be awesome.
If you're playing this without any kind of fetch land, then it's strictly.
I just think it's annoying. Yeah. I think it's super annoying that we all. I don't know. We all. I really like my first 3 turns. You want to have the ability and fetch lands, getting shock lands is huge to grab a color you don't have in your hand. That's so cool. And it makes you keep, hands that you're like, oh, we need a blue. It's like, oh, well, we don't have a blue, but oh, we got a fetch land, so we got a blue. We're good to go. So it's things like that bother me. And I get it that it does the effect. I just want it to be the effect.
Do you think this card is going to see anything other than standard play?
Before getting into that, I was going to comment
a lot of standard play, yes.
Besides
before getting into that, that's my next question to the cast is what we all think about that. Before getting into that though, to that same point of go get an island, do you think this is going to see a deck where, you can go fetch a shock, but like you said right now, instead of getting that shock, now I just get the duel instead. That just comes in tapped, but I'm going to my turn anyway.
What's the difference then? Because you just get a shock and not.
Agree, but now you can have more of these in the deck.
But you're already going to, I don't know. That's
okay, so in Eternal formats, these are not going to see play.
That was my question.
Because there's so many more better lands.
I can cut you off right now then, because what's the point then? I understand that they're powerful in their own right, but to say a card is great that can't see Eternal play, it pains me a little bit. That it's upsetting, and it's not upsetting because it's anything else. It's because it's a land that can't see. It's not that a creature or a spell can't see Eternal play. I get those things, but lands are so important to us. Lands are what makes Magic different than Hearthstone, or whatever else. It's super important to have. Lands be a really big part of Magic. And you saying that, and you agree with yourself. You said it, so it makes sense. I do think that they are powerful in a lot of ways, but the idea that you can't turn 1 Thoughtseize on it, you know what I mean? Because I know you can go fetch up a swamp. Right. That's not what happens. You see people go to 16 or 15 all the time because fuck it, I have to get the advantage. No matter if I lose 5 life this turn by fetching, shocking, playing Thoughtseize. How you see that every single professional player ever will do that on the turn 1.
Okay, so even if you do play these in Eternal formats, same thing. Do you have something you want to do? Then go get a shock. If you're just going to do it on their end step, get one of these. It provides versatility for fetching.
That's my point to this comment is that same exact thing is other than facing down a Blood Moon, this could eliminate basics because of that fetching to begin the game. In that sense,
it can eliminate basics, but then the text
I agree.
with that.
But that's
So all you're saying is that this thing enters the battlefield tapped. You can fetch a dual land that comes in tapped. That's basically what it says then.
Yeah.
So if you consider it like that only, then it's like that. Okay, if I think of it at only that, this is a dual land that has both things on there, comes in tapped no matter what. That's basically what I'm hearing. Is what's going to happen.
Well, I think I don't see it being able to be viable in Modern to play this and still be playing enough basics.
So to say that you have a fetchable dual land, you know what I mean? Just in general, that comes in tab is fine. Like, I see where you're going with it, and that may see a little bit of play, but I think it would be like a one of in decks.
So
Because you're going to get shocks over it, but I agree that like maybe you want to save your shocks, keep them in the deck until you need them or whatever. Go ahead and fetch this up instead because you're still getting 2, so you're getting all the benefit from moments like that when they don't play the spell. You're like, screw it, I'll just go ahead and get this thing instead. And that's fine because then I can save my shock lands for when I need them, whatever.
So the reason this
that makes
isn't going to see eternal play is because when you pull 2 of these in your fucking opening hand and you have no other lands. So basically they're guild gates. That's why they're not going to see play. But they're not as bad as guild gates because of the scenario we just talked about of how you can fetch them, or if you really need a land that instant, you can go grab a basic or a shock.
Now, I know they wouldn't do this without having fetch lands in standard, but if they didn't have fetch lands in standard and they printed these, I'd be like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, what?
Guild game
What
with
is
a possible
Magic?
upside.
What does Magic think they're doing if they didn't have fetch lands in standard while these things are around? Like, get the fuck out of here.
I'm going to call these novice lands because who the fuck plays basics?
So, that's true that though.
gone over this.
Also, online TCG player, all these lands are $8.
Yep, too overpriced.
Which is funny because that's like, usually
But this is your new-
they jack prices up especially for lands. I mean, like, shit, they're lands. Like, get out of here, And, they are not jacked up. I still think they're overpriced. But that's not a good
have
thing.
one of these in your deck or a Battlefield Forge type of card in your deck?
Battlefield Forged.
It depends on the strategy. Simple as that. But,
100%.
if it were my money, I would do
I'm
Battlefield
talking
Forge.
Modern in that sense because you don't see any of those. in that
No,
deck.
Modern doesn't play those either, so I can't say none of them. How about that? Just none.
Yeah, I wouldn't play
I'd rather
either.
play more basics, I guess. I don't know what to say.
I was only bringing that back up because you're about talking about like printing a rare cycle, and you just want that lands to be in Modern. But it's not like this is the first time that these rare lands haven't cracked an Eternal format.
You know what I play? Steam Vents.
Right. So simple as that. Standard, this will make an impact. Simple as that. You're going to be able to fetch a dual land, and that's amazing. I mean,
Mana fixing
it's gonna be
for
great.
standard.
Yeah.
That's it.
Standard, and because this is what standard is, no one's going to have an unfair advantage. Like, everyone's doing the same play, which means that everyone's, on the same clock. So this is good for standard. The problem is that when I see new dual lands, and I saw the forest plains, I'm like, oh shit! And I read it, I'm like, it's not going to be better than, or even like similar, stage as the other ones. So that's what I
what
felt
I'm
about
interested
it.
to see is if, with the whole landfall that's been going on, is if Evolving Wilds actually becomes viable. In that sense of dropping 2 lands in a turn when you got landfall going on. I know it's not great because you can tap this and that, but depending on what landfall deck you make,
I don't know. Could be.
We don't have enough cards to see that. That's my speculation of wondering, is it a possibility?
Could be. So we have, so first, we didn't mention this. These are what cycle are these? These are not enemies, right? These other ones? Are these enemies? What are they called? Allied or enemies? Which ones are these?
These are allies.
I think they're allies.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So, cool. Alright, good to go. So other than that, they also announced the same day, they did what was it, like PAX or something like that, or one of those events?
PAX Prime.
Something like that, right? They announced that they were going to be putting in I don't want to say full art asterisk fucking three-quarter lands, full art of like the Arid Mesa, the enemy lands, and the shock lands. So there's like new art. It is like 3/4 art basically, and then it has like the opaque fucking text on the bottom that says like what it does, which is what we'll talk about because we are a little angry about it. But they're sweet, and they're going to be all foil only, and they're going to take up a foil mythic rare spot in your booster packs for Battle For Zendikar. And probably the next set too. I bet you'll just do the same thing.
There's going to be 25 special lands in this set and then 20 in the next set.
Yes.
So the 25 in this set are
Zendikar fetches.
10 fetches, 10 shocks, and these new 5 novice lands.
Right.
Like lands.
Discount double check lands.
Don't you cuss at me
I
in
like
Spanish?
that. I like that too.
That's not mine. I saw somebody else say it, but I've been like passing it along.
It's pretty good though. I
That's
like
the funniest one I've seen. So,
Yeah.
just got double check lands. Yeah, I get a bonus.
So I think that we're excited because like they're foil, fetches and shocks that are getting reprinted, and there's a possibility of pulling them. That's
Aren't they new art too and shit too?
They're new art too.
Like,
It's totally
all new.
sweet. They have like new borders and shit like that. I love it.
Before I'm going to comment on the borders. Like, I don't have a problem with them like trying to have like throw an extra touch, making things special to it. I like the flavor that they're supposed to like represent, like the ley lines Zendikar. But it still looks fucking horrible.
It looks ugly. I agree. It looks ugly.
Even with the devoid creatures, like when it's like your ingest when you like your flyer, the 1/2 flyer. Like the color top of it, it's like the flavor is that these Eldrazi have been going around sucking the mana out of the land. So now it's still colorless, but now it has a blue titch to it. So now like the ley lines that are expressed on the top of the card are these blue ley lines. I like that flavor. I just hate the design.
The look is
art.
ugly. I agree too. I don't think
some
it looks
like
good.
Aztec temple looking
hieroglyphic.
Yeah, it is. It is like that.
The idea is fine. It's great. I like the indicating the ley lines, but god damn, what the fuck are they thinking?
Yeah,
it looks so bad.
Exactly. So excited to have. If I pull one, I'll be so.
Oh,
You're
fuck
gonna be
yeah.
paying
Play
for
that
the
shit in
box.
tiny meters all day.
So the statistic breakdown of pulling one of these mythic rare foiled lands is 1 pack out of 265, I think, something like that. So it comes down to you're going to find one of these roughly in every 6 boxes you open.
So one in every case.
One in every case, roughly, if you're lucky. If you're incredibly lucky, then you're not going to find any in that.
So how many cases are you buying as a group here?
And we're buying half a case already.
So the only ones that I'm speculating that are going to be like worth buku dollars is definitely going to be like the Misty Rainforest fetch and
Scalding Tarn?
Scalding Tarn, which are the most played colors in like a modern that use that fetch.
because blue.
Yeah, and they're already like $80 a piece. The
Yeah,
originals.
the
Now you're
standard
putting
ones.
So now it's
special,
new,
rarity,
rare art,
collectible, foil, full art, new art. Like
So-
it's gonna be expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
it
thinking-
ain't just a rare slot like it was.
Yeah, I'm thinking like $300 easy for probably one of those, depending if it
I
is
think
that
it'll be
rare.
less than that, but it's gonna be quite high.
It's gonna be a lot.
No, I'm
yeah.
going to say around $300.
It's gonna be crazy. Either way, it's gonna be a lot of money. So if you open one, good for you. Ulamog got not reprinted, but I mean a new thing. The Ceaseless Hunger, 10 mana, mythic for a 10/10. When you cast it, exile 2 target permanents. Indestructible. When it attacks, defending player exiles the top 20 cards of their library. When it attacks, 20 fucking cards. Like,
Exiled.
I mean, it's not the other guy, the 15/15. Emrakul, where it just like wins the
Well,
game.
Annihilator 10 or
But
whatever it is.
it's kind of like, I feel like this card is just gonna win the game. And it's also 10 mana, which isn't that much when you have like the whole set just pumping out colorless mana. So I think it's like totally I think it's playable. It's sad to say, but it's like playable.
I'm excited for it personally. It's kind of funny too. The other thought of it for like limited, for like draft or seal, you pretty much if you drop this, you attack once, the game's over. I mean, by the time you have to play this in the field, they've probably gone through the top half of the library or
so
very
you
close.
10 mana, you play it, you win. So you have that, and then they're just like the Shameful Stroke, No, I'm just kidding. But
well, you
either
still have
way,
to exile 2 cards, 2 permanents.
yeah, when you cast
even
it,
if
you're
they
right.
counter.
You're right.
This is a perfect card to hit with the instant colorless card. Just have
Perfect.
another one of these in your hand.
Perfect.
Exile it.
So, yeah, I mean, it's exciting. I think it's cool. I think it's real cool. I mean, that effect is fucking silly.
I'd play it.
So I wonder what effect it could have in the modern decks that play Emrakul and things like that, because it does not have the shuffle back in effect. And so like that can be a thing you use to your advantage, and things that like other decks like they wish they didn't shuffle back in. So I wonder what things can be done with this in like modern situations to abuse that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there are the decks that man, what it is, it's like that. There's a few things that are like, I think it's like black and red or something like that, where you're able to pay like oh my god, what the fuck's the card with a G? It's where you're able to like bring back a legendary creature onto the battlefield, and it gains haste, and you like sacrifice it or exile at the end of turn or whatever.
Okay, I don't know the card name, but
yeah, but there's like there's some modern decks that have that where like you just get god damn it, the fucking promo from
Grizzlebrand.
You get shit like that, and you just like bring it in and you combo off by drawing a whole bunch of cards and all this stuff like that. So there's ways to like, have that, just get, Faithless Looting or whatever into your graveyard, and then you go ahead and just play something like this out of your graveyard, and then you don't win necessarily, but you exile 2 permanents. If you do it on turn 10. If you do it on turn 2, turn 3, you get to hit them for 10, exile 20 cards, and destroy their 2 lands that they have from the first 2 turns. So you're basically, it's like a Knife's, Pauper deck. You get to just like, where you just exile 2 permanents. Annihilator 2, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just one of those things where you just, because you get to play this guy so fast, even though you're not winning the game on the spot, you're tempoing them so bad that if you get to do it again, then you're gonna win. You don't win right away, but they're gonna sit there and go like, oh my god, like I don't think I can come back from this shit, and you have to play another 3 turns where they're not gonna do shit, you know what I mean?
This is gonna find some kind of deck. I mean, this thing is pretty powerful, man.
Oh yeah, people are gonna brew for it, and just casting it and not having to resolve it. So it's at the very worst, it's 10 mana, exile 2 target permanents, and get a counterspell out of your opponent's hand. Like that's a pretty good worst case scenario for this card. And then if it actually resolves, it's indestructible, and they're on a fucking clock.
A pretty quick clock.
Yeah, you don't even have to do combat damage. It's fucking ridiculous.
Go ahead and chump all you want.
Yeah.
A third of your library is gone. Right? Do it again next turn, you're probably done.
Right. Because even if you're behind, think about they're beating you down and you have fucking 5 life left and they got, some flyers you just can't fucking handle. You just cast the fucking card and you get to exile those fucking pains in the dick hairs. Fucking great.
And then, it's, God damn it! I was going to say something about this stupid fucking card. All I'm saying is it's going to be brewed in Modern. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that.
I'm very excited to see who was going to break this thing.
I don't know what Standard's going to hold, but because
there's some sort of something ramp, dude. I think it could be.
I think so too.
Viable, man.
But I think that Modern is going to. They're going to just fuck around with this thing.
It'd be a fun deck to build.
Also, the whole thing that there are probably going to be some other cards that deal with exile. So you get 20 cards. Maybe you won't win right there, but maybe you'll be able to interact more.
You made a comment earlier about how Ugin's not going to be as good because all the Eldrazi running around.
Right.
But the opposite side of that is if you're running a mostly colorless deck and doing things with Eldrazi,
really quick,
you just go whoomp and don't give a shit because everything you have stays and you wipe their whole fucking board.
That is actually true. No, you're actually right. Maybe
so that's the other side.
You're right. The other side of it is
good.
The other side of it
is
playing
with Ugin in the colorless deck. That's fucking vicious.
You're right. I thought it'd be less powerful because there's so much of this colorless thing. But maybe like a 2 of in the sideboard that you're playing a colorless deck, and then you're like, well, they're playing colors. Ugin is coming in for sure. That makes sense, actually.
Well, even if you're playing a colorless deck, I still don't, in a colorless ramp deck, in that situation, why would he still not be main deck? You're right if you're running other Eldrazi's, but maybe you're not running 2, maybe you're down to 1 in the main, but still, that's a powerful effect if you run that colored other player. And even still, if you're still just pumping him up, you're still lightning bolt to the face and still dropping other permanents.
Maybe.
I'm not saying for sure, I'm just saying, I don't think Ugin's gonna fall off the map as quickly as you think.
My theory is that it's gonna, I think it's going to go in the sideboard. That's my theory. But, who the fuck knows? I'm an idiot, so.
No, that's a very possible comment. I just don't think it's going to fall you made a comment earlier about, Ugin's, done now. I disagree with that.
You want to know what a really good
I did say that it'd be less powerful from all the colorless shit running around.
You want to know what a really good fucking standard playable card is? Gideon. Ally of Zendikar.
Really good? You think so?
I actually like this card.
Fringe play all day.
Oh yeah.
I'm pumping out allies, dude. Allies might be a big thing. It's probably going to be something for sure.
At least in standard, this card has versatility.
Look at that ultimate though. Come on. Look at that
ultimate
amazing.
Is a fucking Act of Valor, which is already the fucking card they printed in Oregon. It's the same cost. You just get +1/+1.
So,
my God.
So Gideon, Ally of Zendikar, is a 4-mana white planeswalker. It's white, and 2 colorless. It is a Gideon.
He's a Gideon.
He's a Gideon.
That guy the epitome of bros. I hate Gideon.
Those sideburns.
I hate Gideon.
The sideburns and the nice scarf, but the blue scarf.
His ascot, okay?
But he's a 4-mana planeswalker. He's 4 loyalty when he comes down. His +1 ability is until end of turn, Gideon, Ally of Zendikar becomes a 5/5 human soldier ally. Keyword ally. creature with indestructible that's still a planeswalker. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to him this turn. He has a +0 ability, which is...
Or -0.
Or -0. Or just divide by 0.
Just divide by
multiply by 0.
Put a 0. Put a 0. Put a 2/2 white ally creature token onto the battlefield, but it doesn't have haste, which sucks.
I don't think haste really matters because it's an ally.
Bonuses, yeah.
But I like haste though.
It's no fucking satyr.
Because,
No,
yeah, we want the red, green satyr token.
Yeah, I want fucking Xenagos.
No, it is. No, you're right.
White.
It's just that everything's going to be, enter the battlefield effects from allies.
Yeah.
So enter the battlefield effect from the 2/2.
And then, of course, the greatest ultimate of all planeswalkers, -4 for you get an emblem with creatures you control, gain +1/+1.
Dum dum dum.
So you can literally play this guy and then ultimate him the turn you play him. Amazing. Broke magic. Broke magic.
Couldn't it like be like +2/+2 or +1/+2 or +2/+1 or just... I don't know. I'm just not a fan of this card.
But,
So,
before we go into it, before you get your
go
opinion,
ahead.
I gotta ask. What's that sport that Will Ferrell does in Old School at the end when he's trying to keep the school in business and he's doing like the fucking tassel wings flying around?
Dun, 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 dun,
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? He's doing
It's like the Olympic-
the tassel dance? Yeah.
yeah.
Look at Gideon here. He's
I mean,
got a lot of tassels going on.
He's a flag girl. I don't know.
I wish I knew what the fuck that was called right now. It'd be so much funnier, but you know what I'm getting
I
at.
know what you're getting at.
Like, gay.
Ribbon dancing.
Yeah, ribbon
Yeah,
dancing.
Yeah, it's ribbon something. But, okay, so, historically, Gideon has never really had an ultimate. He's always been like a +1 or a 0 type of planeswalker. Mostly he turns into a creature, that's what he's known for. So the +1 is 5/5, human soldier ally. You don't get the benefit of entering the battlefield, but whatever, you're still getting a 5/5 indestructible for 4, so it's,
Pretty classic though for
he
him.
doesn't have haste though, so
Yeah,
don't,
can't attack the turn you play him.
yeah,
so.
but
As for the new phrase of the year, par for the course. Par for the course.
yes. So his 0 ability is bringing an ally onto the field. So if you're going to be playing this guy, hopefully you're going to have some other allies that have, enter the battlefield abilities. So I mean, that's mostly what you're going to trigger him for with the 0. And it reminds me of the guy who brings in the satyrs.
Yeah, we're talking
So,
about Xenagos.
yeah, Xenagos.
Yeah.
So the thing is with Xenagos is that I feel like Xenagos has
Way better.
2 better abilities and 1 worse ability. As in I think the 2/2 satyrs are worse than this because of allies, not because obviously they're with haste. But the plus and the minus on this are not as good as that because the other one, like getting the mana, like that is like it changes games so quickly when you get that mana ramp. When you need it, and if you don't need it, make a 2/2. Why not?
I will say though,
I
to
think that's
rebuttal
better.
your like even Xenagos' ultimate isn't actually that good.
Well, this
Based
one's
on-
not either.
No,
so-
I think the
Xenagos
ultimate
is
is
bad.
fucking horrible. But the Xenagos ultimate, like you can see like players and pro players get them like past the fucking ultimate level
And don't use it,
even
yeah.
use it.
It's
because
not worth it.
It's not. Like,
It's not
I've
worth
seen-
losing your Xenagos.
Yeah, it's like, and I've seen guys like fucking use it in a mirror match, and he like did that, and he's like, I got a board state now, or whatever. The other guy, was trying to get there, and it didn't happen, or whatever it was. But anyway, the fucking ultimate on Xenagos is not good. So,
Okay.
but this is fucking horrible.
Don't you get to look at the top 10 and put whatever you draw into play or something like that? It's something like that,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Put
I just
lands
know,
into play or
I just
something.
know that pros don't use it.
So this isn't even. I don't even think of this as an ultimate. So stop thinking of this as an ultimate. You know how Jace has 4 abilities. Or no. You know how other Gideons don't have an ultimate.
I like how you
Right?
just compared Gideon to
Yeah,
Jason.
they're like
Lyon.
zero,
No.
They're like zeros and pluses only.
Yeah, exactly. So don't even think about this as an ultimate. Think about this as another one of his shitty abilities.
I like the fact that it's an emblem and you can't fucking get rid of it.
So you
That's like the one good thing. Yeah, you're right.
think about this. You have an alright board state. He comes into play. You +1. Next turn, you -4. He's still alive, and your guys get bigger for more defense. I mean, it doesn't seem like that big of a downfall. All it's doing is providing versatility. So I don't think it's.
It's for players, because you know how difficult it is Ultimate Planeswalker. They made this so people can go, I ultimated a Planeswalker, I played it for 4, and ulted this motherfucker. Yeah, I got an emblem. I got an emblem.
You know how like some emblems, like you never see them in booster packs, You know, you're gonna see this one all over the place.
You will. You're right.
Valor Macros! Valor Macros! Yeah!
You're right. You'll see this one all over the place.
I'm not saying he's a great planeswalker, but I think he's better than people give him credit for. Because they go, well, that's not a real ultimate. Well, it's not supposed to be a real ultimate. Gideon doesn't have real ultimates.
I see this as an enchantment. It's an enchantment that says every upkeep put a 2/2 ally on the battlefield. That's all I see.
Right.
That's all I see this as. I think it's good though. I'm not gonna say that's actually a good effect. So I'm actually like on board with that. But I don't want to use it for anything else.
I think the only chance it has of being good is in a full-on tribal ally deck.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, no,
That's obvious, but I still don't think this is a good fucking card.
No,
You don't think he plays well with fucking what's her face?
no,
dude, what's her
not
face?
what's her
That's
face
not-
at all.
that's not-
Dude,
playing
she didn't call me
anymore?
back.
Her, she's a bitch.
Yeah.
And we've got your next Feed the Clan card
Oh, yeah.
as a rare.
Oh no.
You gain 7 life and search your library from the 3 basics for 6 mana.
Oh, I played
Still
that.
better with landfall,
Do they come into the battlefield?
Yeah, tapped.
Playable. 100% playable.
That's actually not too horrible. Like 7 life is not like shit.
I like
You know what I
it
mean?
better than Feed the Clan.
Oh, I like
fuck
it.
that. I love Feed the Clans.
Because the landfall dropping 3 deuces.
Yeah, exactly. Deuces.
Yeah,
It works.
make my duty twinkle.
Yeah, full playable. You know what else is pretty playable? Coastal Discovery.
Wait.
Love
We
this
went
card.
past the conch shell, though.
Who
dude.
cares? Oh my god.
The Hollow Fountain actually
It
don't
is,
like.
yeah, it's the conch. Yeah.
But it does.
is
But it does look
huge.
good. I like that art.
You know,
God,
it
if
is
it was
really
only
hard.
full art though.
It's 3/4 bullshit.
Yeah, they released art for the Hollowed Fountain and everything. You know, whatever. It's fine. It looks good. Once again, if you pull it, good for you. Otherwise, you're not going to buy it. So who cares? Other than that, we got a. Let's see what's actually relevant to talk about here. Not a whole lot.
More
honestly.
Eldrazi.
That
Moral
card's
draws
better
and
than
stuff.
Divination.
Divination that can also turn into for 6 mana, and you can have a 4/4 elemental
And
one of
draw
your
2
lands
cards.
turn into it. Draw 2 cards. That's cool. I mean, it's definitely like limited for sure.
That's what I'm saying. I think it can see limited play. That's
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
think so,
getting
too.
at. It's
I
not
mean,
going to be in a real deck.
Now we'll see. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. Probably not though. I will say that this Lantern Scout, it's a 3 mana 3/2 with Rally. When this thing,
fucking good.
And I love it when it's this thing or another ally enters the battlefield. Creatures you control gain lifelink until end of turn. And so what I've heard is like
Gideon playable.
lifelink is not a
great.
thing from allies yet. I guess like allies don't have lifelink yet, and so this one does, or gives your team lifelink, which hasn't happened yet. So like. I'm a big fan of lifelink. Lifelink's like it's my jam, So the idea that even if this guy doesn't attack and dies right away, the trigger still happens, and so like you get lifelink, that's fucking fantastic.
When I was playing my version of Jeskai Tokens deck, that Jeskai, that was one of the biggest, life swings, or game swings. I played a mono red deck trying to burn me out and that. I had a chance to get some creatures out there, and then pump with that Jeskai trying to get my whole team lifelink. That was the game turner. This card I think is fucking great.
Yeah, you can get 15 life in a turn.
Oh
You know
my
what I mean?
god!
It's a 3/2
drop
for
things,
3.
drop other allies. You just constantly gain life. That's a great fucking card.
It is, I think
you
so
see how
too.
much play Seeker of the Way has seen?
Yeah,
and
I
that's
know.
1 mana less.
You are right.
But that's just him himself. This
No.
is your whole fucking ally team. That's a good card, man.
I think it's a very good card. I think that if, for an ally deck, no question, this thing's going in there. It has to go in. It's a 3/2 for 3, which is playable, no matter what. And then it gives lifelink for everything. You're going to have a huge swing, a huge turn. It's always going to be a good draw. Why not? It's not game breaking. It's only gaining life. You're not accelerating your board in some weird way, but it's still a significant thing.
I mean, if it only gave lifelink to itself, it wouldn't be nearly as good. It still would. I think it still might see play in that Seeker of the Way kind of situation.
Yeah.
But the fact that it gives your whole team lifelink, that's fucking good, dude.
Yeah.
That, right there, that makes it so much harder for the mono red fast goblin burn that's going on right now to just fucking barely be able to do anything.
I was trying to look at the Skitter skin that Eldrazi's drawn. Was it 4 mana for a 4/3? I actually like this guy, even though he can't block, because you're able to regenerate him for 2. This is a limited mob show.
But remember, you can only activate it if you control another colorless creature.
Oh, that's true.
But still,
But you're going to be having a lot of devoid guys.
Oh, drop Scions all day.
Yeah.
A 4/3, a 4/3 for 4 mana. That's an Eldrazi that has regenerate. Why not? That sounds great. I'm down too. I don't think it's a must-see standard play at all, though.
I'll tell you what, though, I think
I'm
it's
picking
better
that
than
draft.
Mythic Rare from fucking Dragons. The Merciless Executioner, whatever it was. Not the Merciless. No, that's the other flesh bag. What's that zombie? Is it Merciless Executioner? Knife played him. He's that 4/3 zombie that when he goes to the graveyard and comes back,
You're right.
pay one more for the other creature in the graveyard.
It was
that
also
card's
a
garbage.
4/3,
This
yeah.
card's way better than that card.
And that was a mythic rare.
Exactly.
This is an uncommon.
Yeah,
Personally, that's what I think. I mean, that regenerate on that thing too. I mean, granted, it has to have the other effect and another colorless creature, but it's still better than that fucking zombie.
So far from what I've seen of like all the spoilers and everything like that, like I'm excited about it. Like standard, like man, it's got me a little bit like a half chubby, but I'm really fucking excited to play this set in limited. Like
Limited's gonna
really
be super
fucking
fun,
excited.
right?
It'll be fun.
From what I've seen so far, and it's only going to get better, I imagine.
I got a feeling like how I did in Dragons, where everybody wanted to go big on Dragons. I'm probably going to go on the low end and try to go fast. I'm going to want to play Eldrazi, but I'm going to do like probably 3 releases again. So I'm probably going to fucking do the Eldrazi at least one of those times I want to. But I think it's going to be good to go low and quick with the allies.
I agree. This is going to get me out there pre-release, I think.
Yep. So we got a weird ass card weird to me at least, because it's a gold Eldrazi creature. Like, where like gold means like it's multicolored. I'm like, what the fuck, a multicolored Eldrazi? Like, it's already weird having like a 1 color for the mana cost. So it's 3 black and green, so 5 mana for a 3/3. Okay, we're not doing so great so far. But when it enters the battlefield, you get to put out one of those Scion tokens.
Just
okay,
one.
Still not good, still not rare quality. But it has another thing where you get to pay a black and a green, sack a creature. Target creature gets -2/-2. So you don't have to like tap it or nothing like that. It's just like whenever you want to. So I don't really have much opinion about it. I just think it's a very weird card. So I'm wondering like where it's going to fit. Like I don't think that it's going to see standard play because it's so unusual, but I still feel that it's pretty cool.
Almost could though in an Eldrazi shell when you're making a bunch of other Scions.
Right.
I mean, because that's just, a card that can do something very little by getting rid of some 1/1 and killing another creature.
If this was,
I don't know. I don't think it's say standard, but I think it's not a bad card though.
You imagine playing Golgari Eldrazi?
yeah, right.
It's the weirdest thing I've ever heard from Magic.
I don't like this card just because of the fact it's 2 mana to sack a creature. If it was like 1 black to sack a creature, it would be a lot better, more versatile. You can do it more in 1 turn. But I think 4 mana to like sack, like probably kill like. What has 4 toughness or like 2 toughness in this set so far that like looks good besides like Lantern Scout and some other things? Like you're not going to be just sacking 1 creature.
Well, not just this set though.
You're right that you're probably not going to be killing a whole lot.
You're going to want to at least sack 2 creatures to get -4/-4 to get like.
But that's like it's like the threat of activation though. When you're like going into combat, it's like. Is he gonna sack one of his guys? Is he has mana up? Like, fuck, do I block? Like, you get to play mind games with people, and it puts them off of their game.
And I agree with that. That's why I think it's limited playable, but not, and I don't think it ever sees standard play.
I don't think it's a standard either. I just think it's not a bad card.
But it's a rare Eldrazi, so you want it to see standard play. It's a rare Eldrazi.
Several rare Eldrazi that just aren't very good though. Like that one, you pay 3 mana and take a creature, a colorless creature only, to do its powers to damage.
Yeah.
That's not good enough.
I don't think so either.
Well, I mean, nothing's gonna stand up to the original Eldrazi because they were fucking ridiculous.
Except for the Ulamog we have now. That's probably the only one that's like, fuck, that's powerful.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, you're right, they're just not powerful.
I mean, I'm sure they're gonna come out with some more, decent ones like Ulamog, but...
Well, even that fucking, common is not a bad common though. The 8/9 Trampler for 8. Limited wise, that's gonna be a card that people are gonna play top end all day.
I think that's fair too.
I mean, no matter what color you're playing, you can
Popper, here I come!
It's only common, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, the 8/9 Trampler for 8 is an uncommon card. I mean, it's a common card that has trample.
That's pretty good, yeah. So there's that.
This uncommon right here is kind of crazy though.
It's 8 mana for 10/10. All creatures.
10/8.
What's that?
10/8.
8 mana for
10. It is 10. I thought 10/10. My bad. Yeah, it's 10/8 for 8 mana. All creatures able to block this guy do so. So whenever it attacks, everyone just has to get in front of this bitch.
Breaker of armies.
So
I will break you.
So
I like the flavor text on this motherfucker though. It's basically saying, I'm a little weakling piece of shit, but I have some courage and I'm gonna go die with honor and jump in front of this asshole.
It's pretty much what it's gonna do. It's gonna die. Let's take a lot of things with it, so that's kinda nice. So, I don't know. I think that one is, what do you guys think? I don't know. What do you guys think?
I would play it in limited. Just for the
Breaker of Armies, I'd play limited, yeah.
shits and giggles.
Yeah, fair enough.
If I was on the Eldrazi game plan.
And then we have we guess one other card, but we can talk about Godless Shrine. Looks amazing.
The coolest fucking artwork.
Coolest art. Really cool
Yeah,
art.
that's the best of the, what are they calling them? Like the treasure...
Expedition.
Expedition?
Yeah, Zendikar Expedition.
Expedition lands, I think that's the coolest looking one because of that shitty, text box, which they could have, made it more or less opaque whichever one, makes it less less visible.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you right now. I'm kind of with you on this one. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Does opaque mean like less visible? Like
percentages of if I'm using like a video editing software and I want to make it a opaque fucking translucent little image to go over an overlay or whatever. I'm like, what percentage means?
Or like,
is 99%? Is it like completely dark or is this 1%? I don't know.
You have to like hit plus or minus and then you're like, oh, okay, I figured it out now. But anyways, for being a 3/4 full art land, I think this is the best looking one thus far.
Yeah, because you look at like the original Godless Shrine, like Godless Shrine, but yet you're looking at like a church steeple with fucking old stained glass. Like that doesn't say Godless Shrine to me. This says Godless Shrine to me. Just wrecker of fuck your face kind of shit.
Wrecker of fuck your face.
It looks like one of the statues from Beetlejuice.
And that's a Godless movie.
Yeah.
God, I don't like that. Well, it looks like a guy holding like go back up to the picture real quick. What is that guy from Mass Effect? Have you played Mass Effect, the game? They have those fucking weird heads that look like this guy's fucking head that they have it where it's like split at the top. I'll have to look it up.
This is like pyramid.
Are you talking about the main enemy, the big motherfuckers?
No. It's like one of the little scrawny guys, or like the science guys in Mass Effect.
I can't think of it.
I'll fucking think of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyways, that's what it reminds me of.
But it does look like that. I know for sure. Even though I don't know what it is.
Solarian, I think it's what they are.
Last card, Drowner of Hope, 6 mana, 5 and a blue. It's a 5/5 Eldrazi. A lot of Eldrazi. Devoid, duh. When this thing enters the battlefield, oh yeah, it does look like that. When it enters the battlefield, put 2 of the Scion tokens, and then you're able to sack a Scion and tap target creature.
Sacrifice for no mana.
No mana, yeah, you're just gonna sacrifice it.
So it's not like the Golgari one.
Yeah, so you get to...
I guess it's a tempo play, but it's still...
I think, once again, obviously limited playable. It's 6 mana 5/5, totally fine. It's Eldrazi, mostly colorless, can be easy to get to, in most cases. It brings out other things that can ramp to other things, so even if without the sacrifice ability, like you're already getting 2 tokens to get to your bigger Eldrazi. So, like, on that standpoint, totally playable, like in limited, whatever, that's fine. Once again, standard, there's not a chance in hell this is gameplay. No fucking
So
way.
what they're doing with these Scions is not necessarily pigeonholing them into just using them for mana. They're a resource that can be used for whatever.
Like Thopters.
Like Thopters. Like, you can... Because... a lot of these Eldrazi have sacrifice Scion do something. Mm-hmm. So this could be your top end. Like you don't always have to be going for the 11, 12, 13 mana Eldrazi. You could just be using these Scions for mana if you need them, or sacrifice them to do other effects. Because in this very narrow context of Eldrazi, we're always thinking, sack him for mana. But what if it was in a different set, they weren't Eldrazi, and it was a 5/5 for 6 that came in with 2 1/1s, and then sacrificed the 1/1 tap target creature? You'd be like, wow, that's actually pretty fucking good. But now that we have the lens of Eldrazi, and we're always trying to go bigger, and we're going for Ulamog, we're going for the Spaghetti Monster, then these, 6 mana 5/5 seem like shit. So it's just all a matter of perspective.
I disagree in the sense that I wouldn't think that'd be fantastic. I do hear what you're saying though. What I do and don't like about these type of Eldrazi is it's cool that they come out and bring other creatures with them. That is good. But I feel like they've dumbed down these Eldrazi to be not good enough just to add those extra Scions. So it's like, you're giving away too much to bring in the tokens with them. It's not going to see play, man. The tap target creature because of it, I think
that we've already seen so many things in like white that like you pay 2 mana and tap target creature like the irregulars or whatever. Mm-hmm. I'll never see play. That's a good card. Never will see play. I have to say that I agree. Like it shifts it a little bit to say that like you have the ability to have 1/1s that also sack to tap something without having like the ability to sacrifice for mana. Just thinking of it as that, you're right. It does change it a little bit, but I still feel like this is just not good enough of a card.
I play this limited.
No, yeah. Come on,
Have you
dude.
said that for every single card?
pretty much. I'll play some limited. I'll play some commander.
I'm just really excited to play these cards in limited.
They're going to be really good.
They're just all so good.
Limited is going to be fucking
They're
amazing.
just all so good.
I loved Origins too, but this is going to be better than Origins, I bet. This is going to be
Fuck
great.
Standard.
I love-
Standard's so old news. Let's just play limited.
Love oranges.
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 Yeah.
They're delicious.
I like bananas.
I bet
I like apples, bro. What? Orange apples.
And that's actually all the spoilers so far. Thus
Yeah,
far.
I think the actual spoilers come out like Monday, like fucking
Next
Golden
Monday.
They start pumping them out.
Yeah, next month.
Not Monday. I don't think this Monday.
No,
I think
this
it's
Monday.
next Monday. Is it this Monday?
This Monday.
Oh, okay.
So by the time you're listening to this, hopefully,
We'll have better
if
shit out
I've
there.
edited in timely fashion.
So, before we get kind of closing out, I got two things to talk about real quick.
You fucking talk about those two things, dude.
One of those things is a little reminder. The new draft style is going to be, where it's typically 2 of the larger set and 1 of the smaller set, it is now going to be 2 of the next set being Oath of Gatewatch and 1 Battle for Zendikar.
Because people like to play with new cards.
Yes.
So it's going to be, so the set's going to be 3 Battle for Zendikar, and then it's just going to be 1 Battle for Zendikar and 2 Oath.
For the next set, yeah.
For the
I like-
next.
I think that makes all the sense, actually.
Yeah, I mean-
because they moved to only the 2, it means like the only chance you're going to be able to draft it is that. So like,
Yeah.
that's it. Because when the next set comes out, it's going to be 3 of that.
Yeah.
So you're still getting 4 packs of Battle for Zendikar to the 2 packs of that, as far as considering 6 packs over 2 sets, you know what I mean, in draft. So you're still opening up, twice as much Battle for Zendikar as you are the new set.
Because remember, like in Theros, when Born of the Gods came out, like it was like 2 Theros, 1 Born. And it's like, well, we're not going to open any fucking cards doing shit like that, so we just did triple Born of the Gods, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
You want to
it's,
play new cards, you're
and
right.
it's because we want to play with new cards, so
I think
they
it's,
finally
moving
got
forward, it's the best thing to do. It also is like for this moment, because it's the next Zendikar set, it's like, I want to open more Zendikar packs, because overall what they're, trying to advertise is some great shit. But overall, real generalization is, it's much more exciting to play with new packs.
I think it's perfect to have like a big set of 270, whatever it is, small set of like 170, and so you're opening up 2 and 4. Like it's appropriate to like,
I agree, entirely.
have that split. I think it's exactly what it's supposed to be. I think it's exactly.
I'm just saying, I wouldn't be surprised if some people are like, man, I want to play more fucking BFZ though, over the new set or something.
Yeah, and the thing
we have no idea about,
but
about
they
Gate,
are. Like I said, they're opening 3 packs and then 1 pack, opposed to just 2 packs plain and simple. So they still
agree.
are. Even if they say
I'm
that,
just
they
saying,
still are.
Like, even with like these free throw $100 bills plus into a pack, people are still bitching that like, oh my god, like, this is gonna throw like fuck up MTG finances, and that's like, now you're bitching because they're throwing money into a pack. It's like, hey, I can open up $100 right now and get lucky, or I can just be mad that later on it's not gonna affect something else. Like, just Magic's giving us a fucking cool little new art foil things. Otherwise, you have to go out there and spend $80 right off the bat to buy Steam events on your own, or whatever, scrolling torn, whatever on your own. But now you get the chance to just open it just by opening a pack like you would anyway.
I feel the same way that like people are bitching on Twitter and whatever about like why they do this. It's like, why not?
Why?
It's like,
What
why
are you
not
mad
have-
about?
Why-
It only gives you a possible bonus.
It's just it's a possibility. Like they're not meant to be. They're not going to ruin finance because they're going to be super expensive. But it's not like it's going to ruin finance in the way that
If you don't want to
it's not going to change everything.
Yeah,
It's just
so-
going to be another thing.
If you don't spend $200 on that
It's fun.
scrolling tarn
It's
on the
fun.
new version, just buy the old version.
Well,
What is the fucking difference?
Okay.
People were like just butthurt because they thought people going into this before that, like what Mark Rosewater said, there was not going to be any fetch lands in Zendikar, and then they turn around and do this expedition or whatever.
Well, they're not technically in Zendikar.
They're not in Zendikar,
They're
but,
not standalone playable.
but people had their hopes up that they were going to get playable like reprints or like reprints where it would actually make lands more accessible to people other than having to pay like $80
They
for a
can't
fucking
do
land.
that because standard can't be that.
Yeah,
That's the whole
You're not
deal.
going to have 10 fetches going on in standard at one time.
Yeah, people
no
would just
fucking way.
It's sweet to
They
have
had
that
super
they're-
expectations
when
that it
you open
was
them up,
gonna be.
they are playable in draft, which is
They
cool.
are.
Well, I understand. Like, I'd be fucking pissed too if, like, I mean, like, I would like to have fetches at a cheaper price. Like, yeah, everyone would, but the sacredity of the game, like, you have to, like, you can't just blow up the whole fucking set. But I mean, I understand why people are mad because it is Zendikar and those Zendikar fetches.
It's not like they're never going to reprint these fetches, though. They're not saying that. But what is there to be mad about this chance of opening it just for free?
Well, it's like most people aren't going to open these. They're very going to be rare.
I feel like Knife is sitting on something.
He is.
He's
so
sitting on a.
speak up, brother.
there's a fucking dildo in this couch. What the fuck? Okay,
He was all just puckered up like,
yeah,
oh god.
I was just politely waiting for my turn to speak, which is unusual for me.
I know.
Okay, so that article that I said you should go read in the beginning of the podcast, it talks about just this. And I am not a financier. I find MTG Finance very interesting, but do I completely understand it? No. And what I'm going to say I'm probably going to butcher, so go read that fucking article. But they were saying that since these cards are going to be in one a case,
Roughly.
give or take.
That's speculation too.
And so that's going to eat up. So let's say a case is what, like $600, $700? Let's call it $600. So let's say one of these lands is $200. That is $200 off of that $600. So that's driving the price of every other rare, every other card in the entire set has to go lower than it should because they're throwing these in there. So it's really making the economy, the secondary market economy, really wonky. And whether it's good or bad,
cheaper, and they're mad about it.
No, I'm not saying that's why people are mad, but I'm saying, like, you guys are saying this doesn't affect the finance. This does affect finance because when you look at it through, like, a store's perspective or through, like, not just, like, single card perspective, when you're looking at it through the entire set, it does throw it completely off. So,
I don't quite understand why opening up a $200 bill or $100 bill in a pack would make the other rares be less money.
Because
the rares are good.
Overall...
Because it has to do with MTGO redemption. And
those cards aren't redeemable on MTGO. The Expedition lands are not redeemable on MTGO.
Yeah.
So, a box is $100, right?
Yeah.
Like
roughly.
MSRP.
Yeah.
Whatever. And it's not a standard box, that seeing standard play is not going to be $500. No matter what's in the box, it's not going to be $500. So, what's going to be worth money in that box has to equal up to like $100. So the set has a certain like roof that it's going to hit. So if something's soaking up all of the money in the set, then the other cards in the set can only like pick up the scraps. So that this Drowner of Hope, let's say it was a good card, it only has 20% left of the market to, like, adjust its price, so it's going to be cheaper than it should be. Go read that fucking article. I'm not explaining it correctly.
I'm just not understanding what, I mean...
There's a pool, well, you guys are saying that it doesn't affect the market. It does affect the market. Whether it's positive or negative, or whether people are happy or sad, it's a big effect on the market.
I'm not saying it doesn't affect the market, I'm saying...
No, you did earlier.
I'm going to go ahead and just say that it's not going to affect the market. That's what I'm going to stand by. No knowledge, me being a stubborn idiot. I'm going to say that this is not going to do that. Do I have any knowledge for that? Do I have to read the article? No. So I can't argue the fact. It's just my theory on it. You know what I mean? I can't say I have some good thing to back it up. I feel like that it's going to be so rare. And it's only going to be an upside. I don't think it's going to be. I don't know. I don't think that even the foil Tarmogoyf thing changed the Modern Masters necessarily either. Even though it's a possibility, you can open it. That's a ton of money and more. Once again, double the value of what you bought the box for. I still feel that all the other rares in that set, on their own, can make up for that price on what you open. So I'm not going to say that because they had Tarmogoyf in that set, that meant that all the other cards had to be adjusted, because of that. Once again, I don't know. So I could have like a rebuttal right now, and I can't even like fight it because I don't know what I'm talking about. I just feel like the cards are going to be what they are,
We're like two idiots, like trying to we're like two regular Americans. Like, you're a Republican, I'm a Democrat, and we're both like arguing, and we both like have no idea what we're talking about.
I have no idea what you're arguing over.
It's exactly what this is.
It's not like
something about a fence.
I just feel it's close to that, but my idea is that I don't have a strong opinion about it. It's just only what I think is going to happen.
Yeah. Right.
It's got nothing to do with why, because of this evidence and this evidence and this evidence, boom. All I think is that the good rares in the set are going to be cost between $20 and $30, and the normal rares are going to cost between $8 and $12, and it's all going to be the same pricing as before is what I feel like. As far as if you can count the number of rares in this slot, count the number of rares in this slot, that's what I feel is going to happen. Yeah. If I'm wrong, that's totally fine because I don't have any knowledge about this stuff.
If you're saying the set's going to be open more because people want these lands, which makes the other rares less expensive, I still don't, you're right, that does affect the market. But why is that bad for players? But my original point was that people are bitching about these lands being in there and this and that. All you're saying, and that to your point from what I'm hearing, is it's going to be open more.
I don't even want to say it's his point. It's more like him doing the research.
What he's saying. So what he's getting at, what this article is getting at.
And I'm more playing devil's advocate.
Agreed.
I'm bringing up points so we can talk about them.
I don't know if people are necessarily mad that they're putting the lands in there. I think they're mad that they're not
mad.
People are bitching. That's what my original point.
I don't think they're over because they're lands in this fucking set. I think it's just because they're not reprinting it as a normal fucking card in the set where they can drive the regular price of these cards down so people can actually get play sets of fetch lands that they want and they need.
That's exactly why people are mad. They're going, we've been asking for reprints of fetches for so long, and then you think that this is going to
supplement,
this is going to affect the supply of the market.
Yeah, you're thinking all right, I want to buy play set of $80 Zendikar fetch lands. Okay, cool. People can do that now, but people are hoping okay, well maybe in this set since they're returning to Zendikar or there's a Battle For Zendikar. Oh, maybe there's a slight possibility of them actually just reprinting the fetch lands as common.
Then everything goes. All the old ones go down to $50.
Yeah,
and then everyone wins because
draws everything down. But it's okay, they're not mad I opened this $300 card in my pack. Fuck this. This is not what I wanted.
This is bullshit.
It's not that. They're fucking mad is that the barrier entry to these these eternal formats
it's not going to change.
They're not going to change for another 4 or 5 years or whatever.
Totally agree with that.
It's the whole Tarmogoyf in Modern Masters 2 thing.
Yeah,
it was such a low quantity entering the market.
Modern Masters 1 they're getting that because that's the first
one. Both of them. It was such a low quantity that entered the market that it didn't really make it cheaper, and that's what we want in reprints. We want it reprinted not just so we can get it for cheaper because Magic is fucking expensive.
Well, and not only that, it's okay, Tarmogoyfs are Tarmogoyfs. That's a whole different thing. A creature I can understand, it's not a card that breaks the fucking game. Without the mana base, without the lands, without having these fetch lands, you are at such a huge disadvantage playing any kind of modern format or eternal format. If you do not have these lands, you can't play those formats. Yeah. Period.
Think about it. Your Tarmogoyf sucks because you don't have fetch lands.
Yeah.
How do you make Tarmogoyf suck? Don't play fetch lands because you can't afford them.
And that's why I understand why people are mad. I'm mad too because I wanted to get a playset of fucking, Scalding Tarns or something shit, but it's I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to wait another 3-4 years until
all
they
this,
reprint
I totally agree with. This totally makes sense that this doesn't help the common man get the fetches that we wanted and the full, whatever.
It doesn't help the modern format. It doesn't help the game that they're not doing it. It sucks. It's going to blow up modern if they did do it in the same set, so soon after the last fetch lands. But it's not. They're not helping the other formats. Modern's going to be fine, or standard's going to be fine, limited's going to be fine. It's just they're not helping out the other formats that people want to get into, and that they can't afford to get into. Anyone anyone can get into it as long as you have the money, but for the people that don't have the money, maybe they have other cards that they've already been accumulating and they don't want to pay $80 a land or $300 of $400 in a mana base just for 2 sets of colors or 1 set of colors. People are pissed off that they can't play this format.
All that makes sense. You're not helping.
They're keeping you from playing a piece of the game, and people are mad about that.
What's going to be funny is when they print them in the next set.
Yeah.
Or the next block or whatever. Yeah, it's they had a plan all along.
But the thing is with Magic, it's the need for fetches wasn't known until like maybe 2 years ago
For Modern.
for Modern, and like when Modern started blowing up, and they've already been developed. This set's
Well, that's
probably
also when Shocklands came about.
yeah, Shocklands
That's
came
why.
out.
That's
This set's
changed
probably been in
everything.
development for like 4 or 5 years now, and so there's still a
I don't
lag.
know, 4 or 5 years.
No, they have, like, I've read online that they actually have the next 7 years of sets already in development right at this moment.
Don't lie to my face.
That's how far ahead they're going. They're so far ahead in this development. That's like when like the vampire set or whatever, what is the Innistrad came out, like a couple years after the big vampire craze. Like they started developing something like that back like maybe 4 years ago when like vampires were the big in thing, and then they came out with that set. They're just behind the development cycle. They can't like develop something within like that year and release it that year.
Right,
They
'cause
have
there needs to
a
be
lag
testing.
time. Yeah, there's so much development, like testing I guess to go into it, that they're literally planning this next set like 7 years out. That's why it's like,
That news to me, bro.
that's why it's people are like, they
If I haven't
can't,
seen it, it's new to me.
they can't respond to it that fast. Like, that's why people are up in arms. Like, that's probably why it's like not in this set, because they didn't anticipate, 4 years ago or 3 years ago that they would need to reprint these fetches like immediately.
right.
So
So,
they're trying to supplement that now by going to acquisition lands.
well,
I mean, it's not enough, but they're trying to do something for the fans, for the players.
But
to say like we're going to throw at least a chance to get.
But I
this
know
in
like
there.
people, like they know that people want fetch lands. They know that.
yeah, they're coming eventually. They're not going to
But
come
it's
when
just-
we want them, but they're going to come eventually.
Yeah, I mean, they can't break the game.
Yeah,
but I mean,
they're gonna be
And
in.
people are just gonna be mad.
They're gonna be in standard in the next couple of years.
People are just gonna be mad. People need to be
People
mad.
are still like, even though your point is correct, people are mad that they're not giving us enough for the fetches for modern stuff.
I'm
People are still, for some reason, mad about the expedition lands. Besides that, people are just bitching.
Well, it's like it's gonna be
It's like,
unobtainium
oh
for a lot of
my
people.
god, people are like, what the fuck? What is wrong with opening $100 bills?
There's nothing wrong with
They
it.
just
Like,
wanted
people
to.
are bitching about it. Like, I can't believe they're putting expedition lands in there. That's such a stupid idea. It's like, what is wrong with you?
They wanted
What's
them in
wrong with
higher
it?
frequency also, because if you're, if you're a collector, you're gonna want them because they look cool. I think they look like shit, but you're gonna want them.
They're rare.
And then and they're rare, but they're gonna be stupid expensive because of the frequency in which they're
can
gonna
obtain it.
enter
Yeah.
the market.
Yeah, I feel like if people it feels like a slap in the face to the people that were waiting for it, because it's like, okay, yeah, I could have paid like $80 a fetch land, but now they're like, oh, they're going to release this that's super rare that I probably won't open the land that I want, and I'm going to have to pay like $200 to $300 to get one of these new lands. It's like a slap in the face, like saying like, you can't afford the $80 piece
I'll
lands.
say-
Fuck you can't afford these ones
I'll
either.
say simple as this. This is what I think. I think that this whole expedition thing is not going to change anything.
It's not going to change the set at all. It's just
I don't think it's going
just
to change a single thing. That's what I really think. It's not
Other
gonna
than
change
there
a
being
single
more cards out there you can spend more money on. But it's not going
Yeah,
to
but I don't
make,
think
not going to make the
it's not
original
gonna-
cards go up or down.
It's not going to change anything.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
It's just
people are going to be
exciting.
mad. I get why they're mad, because in that sense that, like, yeah, I would also, like anyone, would love to have a lower entry point for modern. I'd love a lower entry point for the lands I want. I agree. I do not want to pay $80 for a fucking whatever. So that makes sense. But that I just think that this set is just a little bonus, and I hope that's what they intended, because that's all it is.
That's probably what they wanted.
You're right. They didn't change anything. Nothing's gonna. Modern didn't get shifted.
Rosemar's
Nothing
talked about
happened.
he never wants to have 10 fetches in one standard again kind of thing. Like,
Yeah,
it's
it's broken.
too much shuffling. Magic doesn't want that much shuffling.
You know what this is? This is prom night, and you're looking to get laid, and all you get is a hand job. It's like you should.
I like hand jobs.
I like hand jobs too, and you should be grateful that any woman is going to touch your stinky little dick. But no, you're like, well, I want pussy, but I guess I'll just take this hand job, and
I guess I'll just stay a virgin.
I'll complain about it for the next 5 years. So all in all, hey, hope you pull one. If not, fuck it, whatever. That's basically what it is. But go read that article. Comments to us about what you think about them. If you hate them, if you love them, if you're gonna buy them, if you're gonna sell them. If I pull one, I'm fucking selling it.
Oh, if I pull like a Misty Rainforest, I'm selling that and buying 4 regular Misty Rainforests
Exactly.
for the money that I sold it for.
Exactly.
The last thing, real quick before we go, have you guys heard about the Star Wars Battlefront beta being released to everybody in October?
What?
I already have the beta. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but that was released to only certain people for pre-order or whatever. They've announced, I just saw an article like 2 days ago, that in October, I believe, everybody on PS4, Xbox One, and the PC will be able to play beta of the new Star Wars Battlefront game, including a campaign mission, the multiplayer, like 20-player multiplayer, where you can actually play as Luke and Vader, and another mission. I forget what they actually said, but so a campaign mission, multiplayer battlefield, and then some other mission you'll be able to play.
Nice.
So
kind of forgot about that game.
No, it's gonna be good.
Found that
It's going to be so good, though.
It's gonna be sweet.
It's going to be so good,
Put it in my pants.
and also so not filled with enough content.
And
okay,
people are gonna be pissed.
Yep, because there's gonna be day one DLC.
Nerds get pissed so easily. Like they have high
They
expectations.
expect everything, yeah, they do. They expect fucking fetch lands and standards, like all of them.
I hope they have
times.
fetch lands and Battlefield Star Wars.
Battlefield Star Wars.
Battlefield Star
I'll
Wars.
play that game.
That's really what it is, though. I hate Battlefield, so I'm like, I'm gonna buy it 'cause it's Star Wars, but I hate the Battlefield game.
And if they try and give me $300, I'm gonna be pissed.
Right?
So you take the $300 and shove it up your ass.
Yeah, fuck that.
This is not
I don't
changing
want
video games.
Dude, it's
I
gonna
wanted
change
video
everything.
games to be cheaper.
Dude, the whole market's gonna explode because Battle Star Wars is coming out.
It will. It will. There's a revolution
Star Wars for
coming.
Zendikar.
Oh my god, that'd be sweet. Dude, we have to work on our boo set. We need to fucking finish that shit up. I found my
It's really more of like a start, right? I mean, there was a start already, but they're not anywhere near finished.
Nope, I quit Magic, sorry.
I finished really quick. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, we got some yawning going on, and apparently some people have to go to work tomorrow.
It is very late.
It is super late.
Well, 11:30 is not that late.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna get like 5 hours of sleep, so.
Wah, wah. Anyways, that's been it for this very special anniversary episode, 51. And tune in next week when we're going to complain about people complaining. And it's going to be great.
I'm offended.
I'm offended.
By everything.
And I'm not kidding.
That's right.
Samhain Crow.
What?
What?
And
And we'll catch you on the flip side.
That's all.
Gimme, gimme, gimme. Need some more. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Don't ask for more. Sitting here like a loaded gun, I'm waiting to go up. I got nothing to do but shoot my mouth up. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Gimme some more. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Don't ask for more. You know the world got problems, I've got problems of my own. They're the kind that get this all with an atom bomb. Gimme, gimme, gimme! Give me some more. Gimme, gimme, gimme! Don't ask for more. You know I gotta go out, get something for my head. If I keep on doing this, I'm gonna end up dead. Gimme, gimme, gimme! Give me some more. Gimme, gimme, gimme! Don't ask for more. Gimme, gimme, gimme! I need some more. Gimme, gimme, gimme! Don't ask what for! Attack my boat! Sitting here like a loaded gun, I'm waiting to go off. I got nothing to do but shoot my mouth off. So gimme, gimme, gimme! Give me some more!